Testing, testing, satu dua, satu dua. Tes, 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 satu dua, satu dua. Not bad. Not too bad. Wait. I need to put the chat box to be at the top. And now very good.
Salah Infinix Note 3.
Follow.
This could be potentially amazing.
Good morning. How did he put two screens at once? Oh, okay. I got it. I can't do jungle, bro. This is how it is, like rank it.
Stitches, I can help.
Nah,
The enemy is picking.
baru muncul dia.
Come on, let's roll!
My pleasure. Please pick a hero.
Coba toh. No.
Fame, a flashy accompaniment.
Tunggu.
5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them. All troops deployed.
My blade always strikes true. Hear the whisper of my sword. As the wind. Finally, let go. The path of cultivation is never painless. One sword reflects one's thoughts. This world is full of surprises. Light as a feather. Soaring finch. Your demise will go unsung. You can't evade me. My journey is far from its conclusion.
Tried to give the best of it, but it was coming undone.
Let the wind guide
Request
me.
backup.
Every choice filled with
I'm really bad at multitasking, bro. Right.
ally has slain the turret.
What? Why?
Victory!
Easy game ya bro, easy game. Easy one. Software untuk streaming. Go. What's wrong? Yeah.
With all our Volkswagen vehicles, we always strive to give you a whole lot more. And now, with offers on selected models across the range, you can get them for a whole lot less. This is VW Unlocked. Ends June 30. T's and C's apply at volkswagen.com.au.
Okay. Now we're talking good. Oh, what is this life about? This life about I'm playing Mobile Legends. Okay. Jadi butuh Hi Jeff, Jeff joining. Oh, thanks Jeff. What an early morning, Jeff. Playing this game, bro. Oh, there's a lot of people are joining. Uh, I'm just trying, bro. Just trying a new David live stream. I'm gonna say, morning everyone. Morning everyone. Thanks for joining. Have you guys got your coffee in the morning? I got one. So give me a second. Morning everyone, morning everyone. How's everyone morning? Have you guys had your coffee already? Get your coffee, mate. What is this live about? This is live about nothing. I'm just trying it. I'm just starting the live on TikTok, so hope everyone's supporting me. I'm playing games though, so later on after this I'll just gonna live with games. If you guys are not interested in games, so sorry about it, but I'm playing games. This is the mobile games. Did you guys hear the music? I'll make it a bit louder. Stacy, Ricky, hey, good morning, mate. Good morning, everyone. Stacy, 21% likes video. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. It's better for you to watching me while you had your coffee, because I had one. Wow, 16. Oh. Nineteen are joining. Make Carlos, Charlotte's. Make say hi guys. Hi. I'll say hi to you. That's sulit pala ya rasanya. What's it? Some games. Some people, not too bad, not too bad. What's up, bro? What's up, bro? Hey, bro. Yeah. What's up? So, everyone, if you want to watch my live stream on game, I will put the. How do you do that? I don't know. It's so hard.
Get YouTube Music
How to
Premium
pin it? How to
with
pin?
this
Oh,
toggle thingy. Try 1 month free of charge.
they can.
Give it time. I know
Oh,
that
yeah.
I'm not easy. This cold heart of mine, she really took a beating before you. You stuck through blizzards, winter nights with you.
Take this one.
Now I'm blooming just for you. For you, there's nothing I wouldn't do.
Okay.
For you, there's nothing I wouldn't do. For you, there's nothing I wouldn't do. For you, there's nothing I wouldn't do. For you,
Hey, Ava. Morning, Ava. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Are you guys real? That's the point. I don't want to keep talking and the accounts were not real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro. Yeah, let's play. Let's play.
there's nothing I wouldn't do. For you, there's nothing I wouldn't do. There's nothing I wouldn't do.
Hello, my friend.
We haven't lost yet. Udah di temenin na di. One new followers. Wow. That's good. That's good. Go live on 3 separate days. Go live for 30 minutes. Mobile Legend push rank. You can manage AI. Live summary. Yeah. That's good.
Tell me, baby, what's the problem? 'Cause I could try to figure you out.
Let's play, guys. Let's play.
Tell me, baby, what's the problem? I'm only picking up what you're putting down. You got me tripping, I don't know what about. So what's the problem right now? Okay, now hold up. Let me get something right off my chest. I've been meaning to read into it, time to put it to rest. Is it? Don't you treat it like amnesia? You know I always forget. Stirring the pot real hot. Watch how the plot thickens. Around the clock, tick tock. Need more than 20 seconds to get your attention before it's on to the next thing. And I'm over here again wondering, can I hold you? Hear your truth. Pull you closer. Talk it through.
You know that I'm the one. Silhouette's amazing, but your brain is a maze too.
So can you help me find my way while I find something to say?
You in just offers everything going ways, but baby, I can see it on your
Now it's only one. Spammy, Sammy.
hero.
Zero following. Fan club. Be a fan club, bro. Be a fan club. Zero level. Yeah, I know. Newcomer, newcomer. One message. Newcomer. Oh, what should I name?
Your team is
Ah.
winning.
Shit. Sorry. Oh, my bad. My bad. I don't know what to ban, bro. Nobody banning.
Your team is picking.
Already got him lined up in my
The
sight.
enemy is picking.
Let's play one, and we're watching a. There was a Mobile Legend in Malaysia, so
I am Megatron. There's no time to chit-chat.
Please pick a hero.
Sir, what's your command?
sure. What's your command? Hey! This is what I'm playing, guys. So if you can download it your phone and we
The
can
enemy
play
is
together,
picking.
it will be great, match. So,
I am the moonlight that
that
breaks through the darkness.
Eternal melody soothe
Your team is picking.
Live restricted for some audience.
Who's next?
True love
Games
is
that
like blood.
The
are
enemy is
uncomfortable that
picking.
has been take the reason on. Oh no. Okay.
My mission is to protect lives.
Oh. You can't smoke fade, bro. Don't smoke fade. It's not good for your health. Okay. Don't smoke. I don't know why. But yeah, you can't. What you can't vaping?
Welcome to Mobile Legends. 5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them. All troops deployed.
You're watching a toothbrush play Helios. Get used to
Don't dress in a gown for the close combat. My body feels heavy. Where are you looking? I am here. I'll show you how to do this in midair.
Complete one life match. I did.
Slain. Has been slain.
Some birds are never meant to be caged. Darn it! I went a bit too far.
Slain an enemy.
Don't mind me, just a little birdie patty.
Slain an enemy.
Nice. Not too bad.
Enemy double kill.
What is that? Got to
Fight
life of
alongside
90
you,
minutes.
brother.
Oh no.
Gather up the turtle! My brother and I will shoulder the family glory. Needlework? Step, circle, swing!
Slain an enemy. Initiate retreat.
Any place is within reach for me.
Hey darling.
Bully foe has been slain.
Darn it! I went a bit too far.
Initiate
Campaign calendar.
retreat.
What's that?
Ally
Campaign
can't even touch my shadow.
Ally has been slain. Ally has been killing spree.
Don't mind me, just a little birdie passing by. Gather up the turtle!
An enemy has been slain.
I'm planning on a surprise attack.
Ult is not ready. Has been slain. Ally has been slain.
Fine.
Double kill.
You got with us here. AI Legend Mobile Legend Red Boost. Yeah. I'm doing it now.
Don't dress in a gown for the close
The
combat.
enemy has slain the turtle. Initiate retreat.
My brother and I will shoulder the family glory.
Destroyed. Our turret is under attack.
Where are you looking? I am here.
Initiate retreat.
Nice. Kill it.
Our turret is under attack. Attack.
Give me a second, bro. Give me a second.
Triple kill. Our turret has been destroyed.
Oh.
My body feels heavy.
Ult is ready.
Easy, easy, easy. Kill it, kill it. Easy, easy.
Turret is under attack. Enemy has been slain. Initiate retreat.
Oh.
Needlework? Not my thing. Ah, darn it! I went a bit too far.
Legendary.
The fall.
Who gave them more kills?
An enemy has
It's not
been
me.
slain. Initiate retreat.
I'll show you how to dance in midair.
Request backup. Legendary shutdown. Double kill.
Nice.
Enemy has been slain. Attack the turtle.
Step, circle, swing.
Your team discovered the Lord. Launch attack. Turret is under attack. Fully exposed. An ally has slain attack.
Where are you looking? I am here. I will fight alongside you, brother.
Turret is under attack. Fully exposed. Enemy has been slain. Slain an enemy.
Where are you looking? I am here. Step, circle, swing.
You can manage AI live summary in settings. Okay.
Ah, darn it! I went a bit too far.
Double kill.
Joining Bronx. Point required for 99.
Team destroyed. Team destroyed. Turret. Ult is ready.
I have 3. Oh,
I will
Okay.
fight alongside you, brother.
Initiate retreat. Okay.
Darn it! I went a bit too far.
Launch attack.
Where are you looking? I am here.
Request backup.
Darn it! I went a bit too far. Any place is within reach for me.
Ally has been slain. Killing spree.
ah,
Been slain.
point required for 2011.
Down.
What is that? What does that even mean? Okay, add a life goal. What is a life goal? Ah, okay. Everyone gives. It's a big breath.
I'll show you how to dance in midair. Where are you looking? I am here.
Down.
there's a YouTube
And explain more.
premium version.
Some birds are never meant to be
New
caged.
digital version ad free. Duh. YouTube Music Premium.
Our turret will shoulder the family glory. I'm planning on a surprise attack.
Initiate retreat. Initiate retreat. Ally has been slain. Initiate
You
retreat.
tag-alongs can't even touch my shadow.
Our inhibitor turret is under attack. Destroy the turret has been destroyed. Our base is under attack.
Defeat.
They can't defend. Okay. Host. Okay.
Be mindful to not use me while I'm on charge.
Iya, penasaran. Alhamdulillah. So now we'll go. Itu udah mau mulai guys. going to be. Wait a second.
Feel it rising up, then I push it down. Saying you're in love, I could go without. Let me get away. It's over now, it's over now. So love me or leave me, I'm standing alone. Can't shake a feeling that lives in my bones. Lie to me, tell me you wish that you could, but nothing you gave me is worth what you took.
Nonton ini dulu ya guys. Kita nonton. Let's watch a.
Kalau saya salah, antara pasukan yang main cukup banyak untuk season ni. Satu sebab dia 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. Tepat. Tempoh hari ketika mereka tewas dengan pasukan nombor 3-2. Jadi antara sebab kenapa numbers yang tak begitu cantik sebenarnya untuk SkyZ.
Itu satu. Tapi kita boleh backup balik dengan average KDA dia. 5.6 tu sebenarnya bagi saya 0.3 perbezaan tu agak tinggi. Sebab kena ingat yang dia 2 savage di dalam satu minggu.
Betul.
Jadi itu sedikit sebanyak menyumbang kepada average KDA yang agak tinggi. Dan kita tahu bagaimana cara dia bermain. Hero-hero farm yang bagi saya walaupun mereka ketinggalan daripada sudut gol dan sebagainya, SkyZ masih lagi memegang nombor 1 gol per minit.
Bukan itu saja, damage per minit untuk SkyZ ni bagi saya, betul, Z bukanlah seorang marksman yang rajin poking. Tetapi dia adalah seorang marksman yang sekali dia masuk war, dia kena pastikan war tu menang. Itu adalah mentaliti beliau. Beliau tak akan masuk war yang belum pasti menang. Tapi kalau dia masuk, maknanya war tu dah confirm dah. Dia dah kira-kira akan menang.
Itu satu info yang menarik di mana kita juga akan melihat dari segi pattern penggunaan hero. Jadi kebanyakan dia akan milih hero yang confirm keluarkan damage yang akan jadi sebagai damage finisher. Tak lebih fokuskan kepada poking terhadap pihak lawan, which is yang kita dapat saksikan untuk perlawanan kali ini, perlawanan pertama. Akan diberikan peluang kepada pasukan Aero Esport untuk berada di dalam bahagian first pick. Jadi kita boleh nampak bagaimana apakah hero yang mereka nak guna ataupun apakah hero yang mereka nak pasukan DXO guna pada game kali ini.
Bagi saya banyak sangat option dekat gold lane boleh digunakan oleh kedua-duanya. Saya jarang nampak Kusir akan menggunakan 1-1, tapi priority Haris mungkin akan menjadi keutamaan bagi pasukan Hero. Granger juga antara pilihan yang terbaik, tapi Granger tu akan jadi perebutan untuk kedua-duanya. Sekarang saya nampak yang pattern kenapa orang nak secure Haris, sebabkan bila dah ada Baxia, sekarang Fredrin boleh dibawa masuk. Sangat penting untuk ada Haris sebagai burst damage yang cukup tinggi bila masuk dekat fasa mid game. Dan itu yang saya nak saksikan bagi pasukan Hero sebenarnya. Apabila mereka bermain secara team fight, mereka sangat-sangat kuat. Tapi kalau mereka gunakan hero seperti Moskov, hero-hero yang perlu bermain secara long lane, mereka nampak sedikit kurang selesa dengan gerakan-gerakan tersebut. Dan sebab tu mereka membawa masuk Aaron untuk bermain EXP lane sebagai damage, untuk at least ada potensial mereka
lakukan. Guys.
Kita lihat untuk pasukan Aero, saya rasa kita juga perlu untuk berikan tumpuan kepada Zakif, yang mana dalam beberapa match yang lalu dia banyak diberikan tumpuan daripada sudut hero pool. Badang beliau pastinya akan menjadi pick up band pada hari ini. Apa tu?
Transition.
Tigrel.
Ya.
Antara pilihan hero. Jadi kita akan saksikan bagaimana kedua Roma, adakah mereka menumpukan penobatan untuk memberikan fokus terhadap hero pick off ataupun hero setup, ataupun mungkin kali ini kita akan saksikan kebanyakan hero support.
Kalau DXO tak boleh nak comfortkan ataupun selesakan 3 pick tengah mereka, agak sikit berbahaya. Dan kita bincangkan Baxia
Fredrin
sekali
lepas,
terus sahaja didapatkan sekarang. Saya rasa Haris kat sini antara pilihan yang okey untuk diambil. Manakala mereka dah ada Baxia dan
Haris Yusin.
Haris
Lebih memilih untuk melakukan ban ke atas Hayabusa nak dibandingkan dengan
Ke Haris Kimi.
bagi saya
bahaya kat Kimi.
tak boleh
Kimi tu
untuk Kimi tu.
Ha.
Third pick kena ready untuk link ataupun second pick langsung link pun tak apa, boleh. Tapi Loyi Badang adalah satu pick yang jauh lebih cantik daripada DXO.
Still pick juga.
Still pick yang baik, combination yang bagus.
Ya, benar. Jadi sedikit sebanyak dengan adanya dua hero ini, kita tahu bagaimana Aero sangat bahaya untuk dapatkan Luyi bersertakan dengan Badang. Dan itu ya strat yang mereka gunakan untuk menang ketika lawan dengan pasukan Vamos kalau tak silap saya, di mana mereka laksanakan flanking yang jauh kat bahagian belakang dan itu dilaksanakan dengan cukup kemas daripada Zakif dan juga Kim.
Ya, betul.
Jadi dengan dua pilihan seterusnya, saya rasa kat sini kalau mereka nak flex lagi Baxia tu, mereka boleh biarkan. Dan mereka akan dapatkan hero yang lebih selesa iaitu Kimi berserta dengan Kalia, di mana Baxia ini masih lagi fleksibel EXP ataupun dekat bahagian jungle.
Nampak seperti bau-bau kuat ke arah jungle sekarang ini.
Dan lagi dengan adanya penggunaan kalian pun boleh letak kat bahagian EXP kalau mereka nak letakkan make satu lagi hero setup, kalau mereka nak menggunakan fokus pada double setup di sini.
Sekarang ini ada masalah besar.
Nice.
Fredrin pun kena poking, Link pun ada
No, let's
sisi.
just check it out.
Jadi dia perlu untuk pilih racun mana yang perlu untuk dihadam oleh Kimin. Dan dia memilih Fredrin. Lebih menginginkan untuk tadahan dilaksanakan. Nak dibandingkan merisikokan diri untuk ke bahagian backline dan ditangkap oleh Kalia.
Tanya ini juga salah satu setup untuk tunjukkan daripada pasukan DX. Adakah Aero Esport patut ban Benedetta?
Bagi saya lah kan.
Bagi saya ada banyak juga kan. Benedetta, Arlot, Masha.
Satu lagi benda yang masalah sekarang ni bagi saya,
dia dah tengok yang kat Indo dah main Pakito.
yang boleh selesakan dengan komposisi DXO sekarang ni adalah Marksman. Saya rasa lebih fikirkan Marksman. E-retail sangat-sangat bahaya juga untuk dilepaskan kepada SkyZ. Sebab kombinasi Loyi, Fredrin, kalau ada e-retail sangat-sangat bahaya. Sebab taunt yang ada daripada Fredrin tu,
Jangan taunting dulu.
Taunt yang ada kepada Energy Eruption itu akan menyebabkan e-retail boleh keluarkan damage yang cukup berbahaya, dan itu juga kelemahan daripada Baxia sebabkan reach dia agak jauh yang boleh dikeluarkan oleh e-retail tu.
Tapi kalau Arlot ni sebenarnya sukar juga apabila sering kali ditangkap oleh Kalia. Dan terakhir,
Hi, I guess it's on viewers.
mungkin perlu untuk mengeluarkan hero seperti Edith yang mana masih lagi boleh untuk dijadikan hero damage di bahagian EXP untuk menghalang Fredrin daripada mengambil turtle juga. Tetapi Granger mengetahui bahawa mereka tidak mampu untuk menadah sampai dua hero yang berjarak jauh. Sekiranya ada kombinasi Kimi Granger, menyukarkan keadaan buat Kimin pastinya.
Tapi ada satu lagi benda yang mereka boleh dapatkan dari Aero sebenarnya. Selain daripada Granger, Beatrix antara pilihan yang baik untuk bermain daripada jarak jauh dan juga kombinasi
I don't think
daripada
it's
kalian
mine.
akan menjadi sangat-sangat bahaya. Tapi untuk pasukan DXO sekarang ni, mereka kena ada sedikit counter engage. Jadi dekat bahagian XP, kalau saya rasa nak flexkan Fredrin tu, mungkin dekat bahagian XP juga tak ada sebarang masalah.
Bagi saya, kita fleksibelkan gameplay tak mengapa. Contohnya kita letakkan Badang itu sebagai counter engage, kita biarkan Fredrin sebagai engager bersama dengan Loyi. Mungkin itu antara idea yang dibawakan oleh
Back to
pasukan
the game,
DXO
yeah.
pada saat ini.
Saya harapkan bagaimana
Yep, let's get back to the game.
perkara yang boleh difikirkan oleh pasukan DXO adalah ketika mana Aero dapatkan tsunami
Hit
slam,
the
mereka
foe.
dah ready dengan
What is he saying?
diversion daripada Loyi itu sendiri. Walau bagaimanapun sekarang ni Cici
Follow
lebih
the
baik.
live
At least ada
creator.
EXP lane damage yang boleh memberikan tekanan kepada Baxia
What
juga
you
untuk
saying?
poking. Jadi kat sini yang akan main kat depan.
So, let's check it out, maybe.
Tapi yang masih lagi ada kat depan ada begitu juga dengan Cici. Jadi sikit sebanyak akan mengganggu
Let's back to the
Aero
game.
dan Haris. Bersertakan dengan
Yi San-shin.
Semalam kita lihat RRQ memainkan Yisun Shin gagal di tangan Sujin. Kali ini di tangan Hazel pula.
Juga pemain RRQ
Juga pemain RRQ.
yang dipinjamkan ke pasukan Aero Esport menggunakan Yushin kali pertama digunakan oleh Lolil ketika di regular season tempoh
It's
hari. Tapi
a-
untuk pasukan daripada DXO
Straight away a hidden threat,
yeah.
yeah.
Bahagian good lean dengan adanya
Okay,
EXP
yeah,
Baxia.
sure.
Adakah
Saya rasa retail je kat sini. Balik selamat.
Moskov
carry?
mungkin boleh jadi Moskov.
Carry.
Tak, tapi rasanya Moskov dengan
Let
carry
me
lagi okey
change
sebab
it.
tsunami slam tu.
Dia nak purify.
Dia nak purify.
Carry.
Tapi
Bruno.
Lebih baik juga.
Wow.
Lupa juga dengan critical hit yang dia ada. Jadi Baxia mungkin akan mengalami sedikit
Baru
masalah.
lepas menang Nation League juga.
Lepas tu Bruno
Okey lah.
Okay lah, Alhamdulillah dapat menjulang piala. Mungkin ini piala di semi-final low bracket. Cuba didapatkan untuk pasukan DXO bersama-sama dengan Aero Esport. Ini merupakan perlawanan pertama selepas hampir 2 minggu kita berehat. Mereka kembali ke dalam pentas Land of Dawn. Mampukah mereka mendapatkan sesuatu untuk memastikan menempas slot sekurang-kurangnya pergi ke low bracket final?
Perlawanan yang cukup penting untuk para sahabat yang dahulunya rakan seperjuangan mengejar impian bersama, bertukar menjadi peperangan di pihak berbeza demi mengejar cita yang masih sama. Biarkan para pahlawan ini bertarung demi panji yang mereka junjung. Biarkan gelanggang ini dibakar dengan semara api yang berkobar-kobar. Ayo kita masuk ke dalam Land of Dawn untuk menyaksikan perlawanan semifinal low bracket di antara pasukan DXO menentang Aero Esports.
Ini merupakan perlawanan best of 5. Kita dah melihat bagaimana apa yang telah berlaku di MPL Indonesia. Menang 2 game pertama tak semestinya boleh menang terus.
Secara jujurnya, bila nampak draft yang dikeluarkan oleh pasukan Aero, mereka cukup sangat dari sudut damage. Daripada Yesun Shin, daripada Kimi, daripada Kalia sendiri, sebenarnya banyak damage yang boleh dikeluarkan oleh pasukan
I don't know
Aero
why the
pada
chat
awal
is-
minit permainan ketika mana mereka lakukan rotasi. Kalau kita
Let's
nampak
focus on that.
itemization ataupun emblem daripada Aero sekarang ni memfokuskan kepada trail, menggandakan adaptive attack. Dengan adanya quantum charge sedikit akan memberikan movement speed. Tapi Yesun Shin sekarang dia tak macam dulu. Yesun Shin sekarang ni passive dia senang guna. Yang kedua, damage yang boleh dikeluarkan oleh ulti dia tu jauh lebih besar nak dibandingkan dulu.
Senang ganking juga untuk level 4 sekarang bagi Sun Shin. Maupun di bahagian EXP, Gold Mark dan juga Gold Lane. Apa aku cakap ni? EXP Mid dan juga Gold Lane, betul?
Ya, betul. Dan dengan adanya sedikit penukaran dari segi ultimate daripada Yesun Shin juga akan berikan impact. Setiap kali mereka cuba untuk dapatkan team fight.
Maaf cik, saya baru perasan juga di mana sekarang ni. Oh, sebelum tu.
Cubaan untuk dapatkan Kimin, nyawa direndahkan. One last hit ditumbangkan first blood. Untuk Reza dapatkan. Zakif berjaya bertahan dengan Plika. Kusei one on one tentang SkyZ, tapi Hazel dah sampai. 2 lawan 1 menjadi 2 lawan 2. SkyZ diberikan bantuan oleh Rasi, namun apa bantuan yang boleh diberikan tidak mampu juga untuk menyelamatkan keadaan bagi SkyZ.
Ini yang kita bincangkan, bagaimana awalnya damage boleh dikeluarkan oleh pasukan Aero Esport. Mereka dah rotate cukup pantas. Dan kenapa Baksiar dekat bahagian EXP antara salah satu meta yang menarik disebabkan dengan roda yang dia ada tu, rotasi dekat bahagian mid tu akan menjadi sangat-sangat laju.
Storm dikurangkan nyawa, dikurangkan mana juga, hampir terkena action pulse tersebut. Tapi Kimin agak licik meneruskan turtle walaupun belum level 5. Cubaan untuk diambil, ingin digagalkan, tapi Kimin kekal bertahan, cukup kuat. Satu pengguna implosion, malah kali ini Kimin yang tertumbang. Oh, Brisa juga Hazel, double kill untuk Storm. Satu pergerakan daripada Storm yang tidak dijangka oleh Aero Esports setelah tadi recall didatang semula untuk menyelamatkan keadaan.
Ya, saya mencari di manakah implosion yang dikatakan oleh Sunfrost.
Ya,
Saya tapi lebih kepada primer drive lah.
saya cakap
Watch it, the English one.
Sekarang ni apa yang cuba dilakukan di bahagian bawah kursi, walaupun dia asap pada peringkat awal, kita lihat bagaimana rotasi yang dilakukan oleh pasukan Aero Esport. Tapi Storm tadi, damage yang dikeluarkan cukup banyak.
Now, first, if not zoned out from these fights, Aero have a very particular formula.
See?
Reza, we need ZK.
So convenient, bro.
Fade trying to challenge SkyZ with the Zaman Force. Does manage to poke him out, but nothing too notable yet. Here comes the rest of Aero. Rasi gonna get picked up here. The Badang in some trouble. Stuck between 4 members. Hazel picks up the kill.
Hazel is so fast with this Yesun Shin. His rotations are out of this world. Diversion.
Storm not able to catch Kosei. Now he's a little bit too far forward. Tidal strike gets 2-man knock up, but Aero will not overcommit.
It's a purify from Storm, just in case, even though there is no tsunami slam, but better be safe than sorry. Still, equalize in terms of gold. Siska is starting to win out that XP lane too.
Now you can see how Aero Esports want to kind of utilize their composition, right? Gain that priority, use a couple of wombo combos.
Carries.
You have Hazel's ult, you have Kim's ult ready to go, making sure that whoever you pick off with, specifically with Tsunami Slam, is going to die, right? The question question is, how do you actually prevent the reinforcements from coming in? That's the problem dealing with Storm on this low. He has to be proactive on this map. He always needs to be there in time to at least get a trade back against Aero. If not, this game is going to snowball out of control.
Well, they do have tools for that. Remember, Hazel does have access to that Mountain Shocker, so they are able to get vision when they need to. Here comes the diversion. Reza gonna scout it out. Tsunami Slam gonna find Storm in the back line. Loi is gone. Hurdle secured by Keemin. Zaman first comes out though. Aero Esports surrounding the X from the flank. They've taken out another. And Vengeance will not save Siska. It is a 5-man dive. Keemin trying to escape, but you cannot run away from Aero Esports.
Not really sure if that was worth it for DxO. Consolation prize, they are going to get a lot of gold funneled into Skyzer in this bottom lane, but again, they trade the top tier 1 for that. They somehow got the turtle as Hazel retreated too early, even though he was 2 levels ahead. Storm not having Purify just now was basically a death sentence when ZK got on top of him. All things considered, silver lining. DxO are not too far behind, but here comes Hazel.
Oh, kidding Landis. Looking
for SkyZ, does land it, forces the Purify out. He's gonna chase him under
Nice.
Lands the kill.
Hazel.
Here comes the diversion though. Razi and Storm looking for revenge. They'll find the shutdown.
Big shutdown goal. That's a 4-1 Hazel going now. And Storm, he's eating good. He's getting a lot of gold going over to himself.
In the mid lane, Tsunami Slam gonna be picking up Keemin. He dashes back into the tower, but here comes Reza, not allowing him to escape. Razi buying some time, zoning away Aero.
Okay, good stuff, good stuff. That's what we want to see, continuous back and forth. Because regardless of how bad the score looks, 9-3, it's only a 500 gold deficit here. That's not that bad for DxO. Second turtle, obviously a bit of mistake coming in from Hazel's Son, but he makes up for it, right? Gets a kill down on the bot side of the map, making sure that SkyZ is now 0-2. Yes, technically he does have a little bit more money than Kusei, but that's only for the time being, right? They got a lot of plating on the top side. They cracked open tier 1. They've already started to push into that bot side as well, and they're forcing DxO to make a move first, which is ideal for Aero.
Like, how can it be like 1,000 people are watching, but there is no
but they called it off in the last second. Top tier 1 goes down in favor of DxO, and that's the lane that Siska wants to free himself from, and now he has accomplished that objective. But it goes back to what you said early on, Gideon, that this graph of Aero, they're going to be way faster than DxO. Hazel, he's always going to be ahead in terms of level.
I mean, for now, but does it really matter? Hold on.
Reza already scouts out the turtle. Fizz crack being used doesn't really cause much effect. Now comes out Hazel! Seals the turtle away! And now Aero Esports looking to chase. ZK will flicker back. Reza gonna be stuck in place.
Hazel.
Going forward! Here comes the diversion. Once again, Storm!
No.
By yourself there, sir, surrounded.
Oh, that's so wrong.
Some damage, but it's not gonna be enough. The rest of DX cannot back him up.
Way too ambitious. I thought someone was going to follow him in. If Siska or SkyZ follow, I'm pretty sure they would have gotten a few more.
Look, if SkyZ went in and he was in 1-1, that was a savage right there.
That was 100%.
he was prepping for it. He could see the angles. But obviously, with the way that things are going, I was about to mention that, hey, if Hazel has a level lead, what does it going to matter if he misses Retribution? This time he doesn't. He gets the third turtle of the game. Big whoop for Aero Esports. At this point of the game, right, we need to start snowballing out of control. We need to not only deny
Did I complete it? It's been half an hour, isn't it?
Look at the damage from Kim. Catching a 3-man traction pulse.
Look,
Kosei
you're
gonna focus on finishing
unsellable.
off the tier 1 bottom. This guy having to jump away, but SkyZ being jumped on by Reza. The taunt comes in. Keemin will keep him safe, but Tsunami
Let's
Slam
focus on the match, bro.
in the front line. He flickers back to safety. Siska buying space. Cuts the curtain call out. Locked down. Yin-Yang reaction. Finishes off Reza.
That's how you play pogo stick.
1 down.
You just push and pull. You see the constant,
Still leading the goal.
constant juggling of aggro from DxO. Siska hops out, Keemin hops back in, and Stone just keeps on proccing the duality onto Aero Esports, and that punish really stops the aggression of Aero Esports.
It really does.
Don't be too aggressive, like.
I was thinking that Aero Esports, yes, they currently are at 1.5. They basically 3x their 500 gold lead previously against DxO and took away their bot tier 1s. But at the same time, I really thought they could get a couple more picks onto DxO. So many people walked away with 1 HP. I'm thinking whether or not Aero Esports is feeling a little nervous about some of these fights and how close it is despite having a winning draft. At this point, I'm hoping that Aero, especially for their tanks, are more aware, right? Big damage comes in when Hazel is in position, has his ult. Kim must have his passive to deal some significant damage in these early fights.
Yeah, that's a diversion from DxO. So they instantly get to the Lord Pit and just good scouting from Stoa.
Traction Paul's gonna drop Storm down to 10%, and he
Nice. Go say.
Here comes the Tsunami Slam, they pick him up, Keyman melted away as well, but Kosei gets caught by Siska. The EXO still trying to fight back, but Hazel going ham with the double kill, and they're not letting anyone go. It's a triple kill, a wipe out for the Black Alien, as Aero Esport runs over DXS.
Stone didn't press his Purify. I don't understand why. You get caught, just press the Purify and walk out of it. He saved it for whatever reason. His team gets wiped out. Now Aero has finally got the first meaningful lead, and Stone this time, this Purify finds the kill on the Kim somehow, but they lose the Lord. The price that DXO had to pay for that is not worth it.
Well, I don't know. I think that not purifying in that particular position isn't the worst in the world. Because at the end of the day, right, his main idea is, if I lose my battle spell, I gotta make sure that Kusei loses his. And they got that. They got his purify out. So now, for the next 20 seconds, well, 27 seconds, DXO have an opportunity to try and punish Kusei, assuming he shows up.
Like they're gonna try and do so. Okay, Zeke doesn't try to force that. The Lord is coming out.
All right, gotta be on the defensive this time around. They'll probably miss their window at this point with a 4.7k lead. Aero Esports in full control of this game because Keyman 4 levels down. This man is starved. This man is asking for another bowl of porridge, please.
He has been forced into a very, very supportive position this game. Concussive Blast Brethren still not very common. You can see the impact of that. Lord starting to crash in mid. Traction Pulse doesn't catch anyone. Reza looking for an engage. He finds Keyman, knocks him over. Zaman Force comes out. Rossi gets picked up. Reza's melted away though. The strike comes out. He flickers back to safety. The Exo successfully hold their base.
Pretty good defense overall. Like Keyman, he was in the red zone for the longest of times. Managed to get his ult off, but I thought that Zeke would just grab him back and they finish him off, but apparently that wasn't the case, so they ended up losing Reza, but they did get the mid inhibitor. It's still a plus for Aero. Now they're sitting at a 6k goal advantage over DXO.
Let's quickly
Leading
look at
6K.
where this advantage is coming from. Oh my god, literally nearly double his farm.
Whoa.
4 items to 2. Good luck, sir. Malefic Roar on the way.
I'll
and
check
that blade
that.
armor
Why?
isn't gonna mean anything.
Oh, Hazel's just running Storm down. Is he gonna get it? He just picks him off.
This is a big match.
He's picking groceries.
See ya. Bye-bye. Into the shopping cart. Don't care how much it costs. You're going in. Kusei with that 3rd item. This should be game, set, and match soon.
If they just win one more fight, this could be it for Aero. Skyzat finally hitting one of his item spikes as well, the Malefic Gun, the extra range. Because even in all these fights, sure, DXO loses the fight, but Skyzat, he's been able to put some good number in. And the person that's keeping him away, funnily enough, is Kim with his fully charged Stardom Beam. So we'll see DXO in the next fight if they can just buy a bit more time, get Rossi and Kimi into a better state to stay in these fights longer. I think Skyzat has a very, very good chance of bringing it back for the team.
Well, what they need is specifically Skyzat to get a maximum distance crit with his basic attack alongside with the duality coming in from Storm. That's pretty much the only way they can catch off Kusei. Keep in mind, he still has Purify. We did see something similar happen earlier as they were taking that mid inhibitor. He got put down to 12% of his HP. 12% in 2 hits. So, Kusei, if he's a little, a little frivolous, tries to get caught again to bait out his own Purified Zaman Force, that might not go as well as he thinks, Nile.
The issue here, though, for the EXO is that even if they do burst down Kosei instantly, Aero Esports has 3 marksmen, basically. They have all the damage they need, and the longer the game goes, the more that damage builds up. The EXO plan with this comp of slowing down fights is becoming less and less viable.
True, but here's the difference. Kusei can fight on a dime. Hazel needs a bit of a setup, and he needs to go in and out of the fight, right? He needs to maximize his distances so he can get maximum amount of damage. Yes, he's really far ahead. I'll give him credit for that, but he's also just as squishy. Kim, on the other hand, he's kind of doing negative damage at this point in time. He hurts everybody else. Keyman is kind of out of the picture. Siska can buy a little bit of time with that vengeance, so you have a guaranteed window.
Well, let's see if they're able to make that window work out, because the bottom inhibitor will fall. They are able to melt down the Lord pretty quickly. Reza collides with Keyman, and he melts instantly. Unstoppable for Hazel. The yin-yang reaction basically does 0 damage to Aero Esports, and now they're whittling down the base.
Nice.
Inhibitor will fall as well. The EXO runs in, Fist Crack finds 2, but it's not enough. Double kill for Kosei. Aero Esports have a single highway to victory, and they will take game number 1.
That's why you say fly high with Aero. They not only fly high, but they fly fast. Supersonic speed right to the base of DXO for game number 1. A draft that wanted to go fast.
Nice Aero, nice Aero.
Baby, when I'm gone for good.
Let's back to the game. Back to the game, bro.
Then get up, get dressed. Before work's off my list.
Get back to the game. Let's back to the game. 3 viewers. Back to the game. Bro. See, it's working. Dinite, bro, din. Get back to the game. 3 viewers. Alright, harus. Nanti kalah guys. See, it's working. Dinite, bro, din. Alright, harus. Nanti kalah guys.
I'm addicted on denying it. Cause you don't cross my mind, you live in it. I wanna taste you and feel you shake, breathing unafraid. Can't push the brakes when a rush hits. We're going in, we're going in. You give me body my cheek, year after year. Only gets better, I'm looking in these. Read the sheets, you on my lips, I'm feeling heat. That's all I need.
There you go.
Please ban a hero.
Second.
Your team is banning. Your team is picking. Your team is banning.
Need no protection
The enemy
from
is
the rain.
picking. Your team is picking.
Alone.
friend.
Butterflies born by thy
Please
wish.
pick a hero.
Guided by lantern's light.
Watching. It was 14. Wow. Come on. Race up.
Sir, what's your command?
Wow. Come on. Race up.
What's your command?
Race up.
Sagittarius guides my arrow.
No one can escape my iron fist.
Your team is picking.
Nanti kita coba TikTok Live TV. What's on tonight? Nothing's tonight, bro.
Got him lined up in my sights.
Kita coba TikTok Live TV. What's on tonight?
Let's see.
Nothing's tonight.
What's beneath these bandages?
Mode serius. Serious mode. Serious mode. Serious mode, bro. Mode serius. Serious mode.
Welcome to Mobile Legends. 5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them. All troops deployed. Request backup.
Some birds are never meant to be caged. Darn it! I went a bit too far. Where are you looking? I am here.
Mati, bro. Not dead.
Request backup.
Dance in midair.
Not dead.
I'm planning on a surprise attack.
Initiate retreat.
Any place is within reach for me.
Oh, Karina is still level 3, level 3. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Karina is still level 3, level 3. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
I will fight alongside you, brother.
Triple kill.
Oh, where is everyone? Bro. Oh, where is everyone?
Needlework? Not my thing. My brother and I will shoulder the family glory. Launch attack is ready. Don't dress in a gown for the close combat. Initiate retreat. You tag along can't even touch my shadow. Ult is ready. Slain an enemy. Where are you looking? I am here. Ult is not ready. Thank you. Some birds are never meant to be caged. Initiate retreat. I'm planning on a surprise attack. Darn it! I went a bit too far. Ult is not ready. Needlework? Not my thing. Ult is not ready.
Nice.
Step, swing. You tag-alongs can't even touch my shadow. Don't dress in a gown for the close combat. Request back. Darn it! I went a bit too far.
Wait. No, about bro.
Within reach for
Come on.
me.
Wait.
Request backup. Looking. I am here. Slain.
Nice.
Your team destroyed a turret. Launch attack. Darn it! I went a bit too far. My brother and I will shoulder the family glory. Request backup. Your team. Where are you looking? Brother on the world. Ally has slain the turtle. Our turret has been destroyed. Don't engage! Wait for me! Request backup! Killing spree! I'll show you how to dance in midair. Fully exposed!
Bro.
Your team destroyed a turret.
Let's play it. Nobody's watching. Nobody's watching me.
You tag-alongs can't even touch my shadow.
Nobody's watching me.
Any place is within reach for me. Launch attack! Battle spell in cooldown. Request backup. Some birds are never meant to be caged. Gather up the Lord! Don't mind me, just a little birdie passing by.
No.
I'll show you how to dance in midair.
Ah.
Fall. Your team destroyed a turret. Initiate retreat. Ally has been slain.
Bruh.
Lord, the enemy has slain Lord. Initiate retreat. My brother and I will shoulder the family glory. Pressing it down for the close combat. Ult is not ready. Where are you looking? I am here. I will fight alongside you, brother. Not ready. We're ahead in gold. Ah, darn it! I went a bit too far. I'm flanched on a surprise attack. Ult is ready. Ally has been slain. Ult is not ready. Launch attack. Ah, darn it! I went a bit too far. Our turret is under attack. Circle swing. Our turret has been destroyed. Inhibitor turret is under attack. You destroyed a turret. Request backup. I'll show you how to dance in midair. Our turret has been destroyed.
What are you doing, madam?
Down for the close combat. Where are you looking? I am here.
No.
We're ahead in gold. Our turret is under attack. Our turret has been destroyed. Ah, darn it! I went a bit too far. Shut down. Maniac! Our turret is under attack.
Nice.
Launch attack. Understood. Sorry. Launch attack.
Nice. Nice.
Victory!
I just have to rest this. Nice. Nice.
The Volkswagen T-Roc City Life. Big SUV tech
Sure.
in a small SUV package. Now, with a small SUV price tag. The VW T-Roc City Life. Available from $39,990 drive away. Volkswagen.com.au.
And disrupt DXS's game plan. 4 fruits in under 1 minute, and they never looked back.
I mean, these guys know how to fly planes, let me tell ya. Unfortunately, DXS, with the draft that they have, they can't force out the aerodynamics, right? It's very straightforward, one-way ticket. We're going to book it straight to MSE if we secure this series, and right now it's looking very good. If this draft keeps up with this Boxia needs to get banned out. It needs to be shifted. If not, at least take the Kalia on your own side. At least have disengaged mechanics.
I think DXO, they were really gearing towards playing to their own style, right? They were not looking to match Aero's aggression. They were looking to stop Aero and play to their own terms. But as the game... I think DXO, they were really gearing towards playing to their own style, right? They were not looking to match...
Bro, it's
They would
already.
outmaneuver, stop Aero.
Inside the Mountain Shocker to make sure that Aero Esports never really get ambushed. And by picking off Siska at the very start of the game, they already give Reza a
Oh,
bit of an
it's already-
advantage in a lane that should ordinarily be a bit difficult for Phobius to win out.
That was
He's
the case,
something
but
again.
then Siska got the kill back onto Reza, so he kind of smoothens it out. Aero coming to the top lane.
Yeah, Rossi has not been opening up the map at all. He's just been waiting for opportunities
something
and looking
again.
for windows, waiting for Skyzet to get the farm as well. But again, this is, it's not really doing much, which is not great for EXO. Knowing that Hazel is already going to have an EXP lead over Kimi, it's just going to extend further and further if they kind of let nothing happen.
Oh, Feather Airstrike comes out, Rossi goes in, gets stunned, isn't able to drop the shortcut on top of Farsa. And that is quite wasted. Heeman goes in on top of Reza, tries to secure Turtle, will be able to take it away for DXO, takes the portal back, Siska for some reason, goes into mid lane, gets knocked up instead, while the grab jumps on Rossi. Siska making some bad positioning mistakes here.
That was so funny. Reza ran into the portal and shows up on top of Siska, and Siska dies because of that. More fight.
Nice.
Rossi
I see him died.
forward, sir. He's gonna get melted by all 5 members of Aero Esports. Heeman looking for a chance, but he doesn't have ultimate, and Feathered Airstrike will also zone Stone away.
Huh? Nice.
I think
I see him died.
I think maybe Siska kind of forgot how the portal works. Not only does he take the teleport, but other people can also take the teleport too, and they all go to the same converge on the same spot. It's not like you're going back to different spots.
Yeah. I think some teams who might not have played with Chip too much needs to remember that people can take your portal, and when you use your portal, the best case scenario is that your opponents are not near you, or else they could, enjoy the same luxury.
Very much a cartoon situation where you think you've escaped, but you forget that your opponent can also use the same path. Ras,
what?
Oh, he gets picked up inside tower. Oki shadow kill on top of Hazel, finishes him off, but the portal
Nice.
gets him too far forward. It's a double kill for Cayman, but Dom will be traded. It is a 2 for 2.
Dang, I really thought Hazel was about to get out of there scot-free. Unfortunately, Shadow Kill still in range and no Traceless to dodge out of it. That being said though, I feel like this composition, especially with Hazel on this Ishin,
Oh yeah.
kind of suits them.
Yeah, I think so too, right? Hazel can play fast. This mid tier 1 should be fine. Kimin here as well.
Looking for it, he does get stunned. This guy gonna roll in once again. Traction pulls in one, but better airstrike zones them away.
Nice.
Knocks up the Baxia, and Siska falls once again.
That's Reza 1, Siska down 0-2 at this point.
Yeah, this guy is not having a good time at all. I would say at least that that chip portal bails Skyzet from the top lane, because he was about to get sandwiched by Aero.
Oh my god.
Rasi.
Just had to hold my breath there.
Very close.
Super, super close. This next turtle definitely falling into the hands of Aero. At this point, they're trying to extend it out because Hazel's already out farming Keeman at this point. Yes, he did give it a shutdown. It's only 300 gold difference. Nothing that he can't come back from. At this point, the Aero, when they're looking to get their second item power spike, I'm not sure how far Hazel is along his item path.
I don't think you should take it, Rasi. Yeah, this turtle is non-contestable. And Kusei now is going to start becoming a problem, right? Fed up Heaven Up probably would go for the
Holy
Crystal next.
Even though there's not a big lead in gold on Hazel, there is a pretty notable one on Kosei. So it's not the Yisan Jin as the main threat. Kimin almost gets sniped, but oh no!
Nice.
Locked them down, but Kimin is traded. Kim willing to give his life for that one. Rasi too far in the backline, drops down the shortcut. Hazel picks up the kill and dashes away. Storm gonna be stuck inside the southbound force. Kosei runs him down, and Fragment's flowing down the rest of this guy's
Nice.
crushed under the weight of Reza as Aero Esport steamrolls their way through the mid lane.
But why?
Well, there need not be a reason why. This is just another stamp. Another stamp in the ticket. This train is not stopping anytime soon. They don't need to be aerodynamic anymore. Look at this. They do negative damage. Hazel on this pick, this Yishin Shin pick, is so good. Why? Yes, technically is an import. Yes, he hasn't had as much practice time with his entire team compared, right from the beginning of the season. He wasn't really there, which is why this pick is so good. It's very independent. In these 1v1s, he can make decisions on the fly. Hey, does anybody know what? Just pop your ult. Any problem you have, pop your ult, and you will get all the information you need to make the correct decision 90% of the time.
Yeah, it all started with a daring flicker from Kim, right, to try and pick up Keyman. It snowballed into, I don't know, I feel like DXS, they're starting, that inexperience is starting to show a little bit. These calls are becoming more and more erratic, where they were taking...
So ironic.
They shouldn't have been taking, they could have cut the losses, but here they go.
Another shortcut, they're gonna go on Reza, but Infernal Pursuit.
How long have I been?
Not going for this.
I don't know.
The flicker used by Rasi.
So ironic.
And they're still chasing him down. They are turning the tides. And they're still way into the portal.
You are getting fewer faster than this little thing.
It's shortcut of that soul bull. Here comes another Ogi Shadow kill. Hazel. They're not gonna be able to pick him off that time.
Yo,
I'll give it that one, I'll give it that one.
dude, it's a Scooby-Doo chasing. They're running through the doors. They're showing up in different corridors.
1.5 hours. Bro.
Fighting for one thing though, the Lord dropping low. Hazel already low on HP, but
Thank you for
cannot
watching.
enter. It goes over to Aero Esports while the rest of his team is holding the front line. Ziska melts it down yet again, and the rest of DX trying to escape. Not so lucky for Rafty. He is another casualty.
God, this game is so unplayable now. Unless we see Keeman find some really isolated targets to assassinate them and get some of that bounty back. DXO, they're getting curb stomped right now by Aero. And honestly, Hazel, he's entered the Matrix at this point. He's been put down to below 50% of his HP and is still playing kills and outplaying the members of DXO.
He's soloing Lord at 10% HP. 10%! Gets the Lord and still was able to walk out of it. I can't believe it. I don't even want to say that this glue roam was a good pick, but because of how good Aero are playing, this glue roam is actually a big problem.
It is.
Like Siska and Rossi cannot walk up.
The coordination from Aero Esports has been so clean so far. Fettered Airstrike does so much damage. Lord collides with the mid inhibitor. And the tower will fall without much fight from the Exalt. They cannot find the spacing because this guy's already so weak at this point. Aero Esports are satisfied with that.
I don't know how they're gonna come back from this 8.2k goal lead. And look at Rossi, he's so far up, but all your minion waves are pushed in. You have to travel across half the world to even get a potential flank, and that is not the angle that you want to look for. A concealed play from Aero, here they go.
They're diving in once again. Reza gonna jump on Siska straight away. Zaman for it. Look at as well. The rest of them are backing off. Rossi trying to find a shortcut, but what do you even do in this moment? This is now a problem. They found him. Shortcut drop down. Hazel just dashes away from it. Everyone comes through.
Double kill.
They're all running into the grinder. Aero Esports are just waiting for their prey
Triple kill.
to run into their hands.
Maniac.
They will get the
Double
triple.
kill.
They will wipe out the EXO and take game number 2.
The coach
Triple kill.
is losing his mind right
Maniac.
now behind the scenes with how that game has transpired. We kind of predicted that Aero is going to have the upper hand as the game progressed, but halfway through, DXS just derailed and they never got back on track.
No. Something's different here. Something's different. They're not getting the same kills. They're up against a jungler who's been outplaying them a majority of the game. This is not.
Never got back on track.
No. Something's different here. Something's different. They're not getting the same kills. They're up against a jungler who's been outplaying them a majority of the game. This is not.
Never got back on track.
No. Something's different here. Something's different. They're not getting the same kills. They're up against a jungler who's been outplaying them a majority of the game. This is not.
Never got back on track.
Something's different here. Something's different. They're not getting the same kills. They're up against a jungler who's been outplaying them a majority of the game. This is not.
Let's play in another. Let's play in another. GG. Aero Esport is GG. Let's play in another. GG. Aero Esport is GG. GG. Aero Esport is GG. No live, that's fine. terluka, tapi ku terima semua keputusan telah kau buat. Ku menanti kau untuk kembali. Apa nih? Jujur ku tak kau pergi. Kembali. Tinggalkan semua sampai di sini. Oh, skrip ya.
Welcome to Mobile Legends! 5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them! Darn it! I went a bit too far. My brother and I will shoulder the family glory. Where are you looking? I am here. Any place is within reach for me. Where are you looking? I am here. Darn it! I went a bit too far. First blood. Where are you looking? I am here. Darn it! I went a bit too far. You have slain an enemy. Why are you looking? I am here. I'm planning on a surprise attack. Step Swing!
Can't even touch my shadow.
Killing spree!
Wiped out.
Some birds are never meant to be caged. I will fight alongside you, brother. Don't dress in a gown for the close combat.
Any place is within reach for me.
Some birds are never meant to be caged.
Don't mind me, just a little birdie passing by. Wiped out. Darn it! I went a bit too far. I went a bit too far.
My brother and I will shoulder the family glory.
Our turret has been destroyed.
Shadow, let the tape rewind and finally ease my anxious eyes. Oh no,
Battle.
you creeping in, my body bleeding sin, I'm drowning. Heaven, could you save me now from these thoughts inside my head? God, you're the devil, running through my mind. I can't get on your level. I swear
Balance ready.
Oh my God, you are the devil. Take me gallows, try to kill the soul that I fought so hard to save. Hallowed by my love for you, always stop me going under. Follow every step I take, 'cause our walls are coming down.
Our turret is under attack.
Vision's blurry, I'm in a hurry, my skin is starting to shed quick. Call up the doctor, swallow some pills, maybe I'll wake up a bed. I'm a disaster, can I move faster? Honey, I'm off the edge. No fun is stopping me, I'm not your property, gotta take care of that ledge. My friends are dead, I'm losing my head, I gotta get off of these meds. I am unstable, willing and able, give you this body to pledge. Oh my God, you are the devil. Oh my God, you are the devil.
Get YouTube Music Premium with this toggle thingy.
Our turret is under attack.
Not an out they can play for anymore. They have to target somebody else. They gotta get Kuse. They gotta take Zcube out of the question now. That glue pick, yes, it came out of nowhere, but it's not impossible to play around. And I think that's what they were missing.
Indonesia yang menyokong Hazel. Kita tak tahu. Tapi kita tak tahu. Tapi terima kasih kepada anda berdua yang datang daripada jauh, sanggup menyokong MPL Malaysia dan Aero Esport. Dan sekarang kita melengahkan masa. Player dah pun bersedia dekat atas tu. Kita nak throw dekat caster kita. Tanpa kita melengahkan masa, terima kasih. Let's go.
Thank you very much, Poji, and also our Indonesian supporters. The kingdom or the empire has struck twice against DxO. Hazel supporters in the house, and one more game before Aero Esports books their ticket to the lower bracket finals and puts themselves one step closer to MSC. Let's take a look about at Aero, right? Because previously, before Aero was known as Aero, they were known as Red Esports back in season 14. These are the stats on your screen, and funnily enough, despite Red Esports having decent stats, compared to Aero, they're not too far apart, but the performance level is miles apart.
Oh yeah, I mean, Coach Marv, he's looking back at them and it's like, actually, that's kind of true. Our stats are pretty similar.
When you look at the numbers here, there's not a lot of difference, but when you compare play styles between these two seasons directly, it is massively different.
It's a completely different roster too, right? We have Sensui, we have Ao back there, Grace played on Red Esports for a while. Even Dinesh, when he came in from MAL, he was under Red Esports, but now Coach Bam, as he's looking at the screen right now, he realized that what a far and long journey it has been. Last season, they knocked out JP9ers 3-0 in the play-ins, and they lost to SRG in the lower bracket. And right now, they're back in the same spot like they were in season 14.
Well, at least you can go back over and just be like, hey, I coached that team 6% better than last year. Sorry, last season. Even so, I think that right now, Aero Esports, compared to when they were Red, I think there was just too much to deal with in Red Esports. Now, with a lot of the burden, the alleviation, as well as all the controversies kind of cleared up in this rebranding, I think now that the players are feeling not only comfortable, but a sense of familiarity, which is why you see staples like Kim come back and still trying to support this new rebrand.
Yeah, they definitely feel a lot more directed as well and eager to break their record from last season. DXO, this is their first season, so let's compare them with a team that did a very good performance in their debut as well. And yeah, the numbers are a little unfair.
Dude, that's so dirty. Season 10 is when we did see Team Hawk actually come into the scene and more importantly, so shock the world on that same season, going all the way and being a representative. This is the comparison that we're hoping that DXO will try to compete with Team Hawk with. If they win, if somehow reverse sweep this game and then beat the homeboys, then I think these stats are comparable. And I think they'll be looking a lot better because it's close now, but if they win these next couple of games...
You tag along can't even touch my shadow.
Back then we had slightly more games to play. We didn't have, you know, BO5 or the entire playoffs and all of that.
Didn't have SRG.
We also didn't have SRG.
Victory!
Right? I told that was they lost to Team Hawk. But they were still announced as champions, though, I believe by Sith for like 3 seconds. Good old time.
Somebody's gonna pull up that clip. That clip was too good.
I was trying to find it, but I couldn't find it. I need to search more.
It's the best example that the people can use to say that MPL is scripted.
we almost leaked the script.
We nearly broke the third wall there. Just oh no, it's happening. All right. 22 more seconds until the game actually begins. Right now, DX, I'm looking at Keeman's face. He's a little stressed about the situation. He's like, okay, we want to go a little bit further, but if we drop the ball here 3-0, that's not going to leave a good enough impression, especially since this is rookie season. He's got to like bring this together, make it close.
Because we've seen moments of him struggling, right? When they first played MV in the regular season, he had a rough series. He was not getting anything done. Come playoffs, he was styling on MV, on Uni. But right now, he's back in that same spot, just like in regular season, right? Assassins didn't work out, Tank didn't work out, and when both sides of the aisle are collapsing on you, what is the third option? We just have to find out. Joy gets led through, and Aero, they just snatch it.
Wow. Coach Tio actually went for a Yi Sunshin ban in the first phase there. Heavy respect, but letting go of a hero like Joy is arguably even worse.
Like the question is the Yi Sunshin worth banning? Or is there a workaround?
This is where it gets
But that's a
really
good
tough,
thing
right?
that
Because
they're
it is
respecting
clear that
the hero power of Hazel.
Make sure that at least for Hazel, he gets a hero that is independent, right? Whether he would be extremely slippery or is able to open up the map to kind of make his own decision.
That's even worse because
He gets to be independent. It's very hard to catch unless the
Alea,
has an answer. And in this case,
that's a
if
good
we get
pick.
Alea, are they going to pair it up with a high burst?
Low
No, they're going
Yi.
to pair it up with at least low Yi. Not bad, but still punishable.
So they go back to a more macro-centric
Masha.
draft. It feels like this has been the theme for the entire series for DXS, right? Game 1 to Game 3, the draft revolves in some way around moving around the map faster, right? Having off-tempo plays, having potential to make off-tempo plays. I think Game 1
It
was
could
a
be
better
Masha
demonstration of that
again.
with the Loyi compared to the chip in Game 2. Now this
Because Kim is really good
is an option for third pick if DXS wants it.
encounter
It's either they pick a tank or they look for someone that can actually compete with the Joyan as well.
Alea.
Is one way, so they take the Ranger instead. Okay. Huh.
I think they will still take
Keeping
Masha.
things as open as possible. I was also thinking that the Masha might show up here since we already know that it combos well with the Loa Yi, and it would definitely get banned out in the second phase. But they try to keep it open for now. We still do not know what the jungler and EXP laner for DXS is going to be. And Siska has been having difficulty in that matchup up until now, so maybe they're trying to play for that side.
I suppose.
Your
I don't
turn,
know.
your
I was
turn.
thinking whether or not to kind of
Give the
predetermine
monk,
what your
give the
burst
monk.
is going to be.
Give the
The
monk.
Mid-Ranger is okay, but I think it's too safe, especially in the current position. Let's see what they're trying to set up
Let's
for.
go, let's go.
Now, the Gatot, the counter picks towards the Kalia are going to get taken off the board.
There's always the Beatrix as a fail safe, right, for DXS. Even
I was thinking.
Even if, let's say, Beatrix doesn't go through, I think at least you open up more options for your marksman and jungler. I think, you know, if you can, maybe you grab the Marsha, or perhaps they're looking at the Vendetta. If it doesn't get banned out, because Marsha is already banned out.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Because at this point, we can kind of guarantee that Kimmy could go into the gold lane. Worst comes to worst, I don't know. I think right now the relationship is whether or not you get access to Phoveus without the glue.
But Phoveus is banned out as well. It's banned out in phase one.
Yeah, so that means that just leaves glue at this point, right? So that was that big relationship. And now the question is whether or not they even want to take that as a consideration, because something needs to stop this joy, and Badang has already been taken off very smartly by Coach Bao.
I want to say Franco, but there's already Kalea, right?
Exactly.
Kalea XP is not going to work here.
Maybe they could still go Baxia?
But then crowd control is now heavily reliant on Kalea.
Exactly. Now, initially I thought maybe if they go for Baxia instead of the Granger slot, there could have been an opportunity if Galea wasn't part of the first two picks. Or if not, it's up in the air, right?
Yeah.
Unless you can guarantee a realistic matchup for Galea to the EXP side. And Blue gets locked down. Let's see whether Kimmy is going... Is Aero going to compromise their damage profile to ensure a counter against the Glue?
You could take that and then a CC? Fire me CC and then you could Badang for ZK if he plays a mean Badang.
It's all right, I
like, it's not
Hi, let's go.
worst.
Hi, let's
It's not the worst, yeah.
It's the Hilda Iratel. Now, keeping it straightforward. Again, another draft that goes fast.
It not only goes fast, but there's a pretty good way to punish their opponents. I think at this point, it's pretty difficult, right? Because now the real question is whether or not you want to have Kalia in as your supporter, right? There could be a possibility of Blue going into that support, just like we saw in the previous game. Nolan to speed things up, to kind of keep pace against Aero. It's tough.
It's tough.
Riz, he's gonna have a field day.
Yeah, you see the shoulder pad for Coach Steele on the key. I mean, it's like, this game, just play your best, right? Like, there's a lot of burden because you can't really play Suyo. Sure, the Suyo burst with Kalea, but then there's too much magic damage profile from Aero. I guess Nolan is his best choice, but he gotta play the best damn Nolan game of his life.
Yeah, unless we see Siska really zone out every member for the side of Aero, unless we see big plays coming in from Rossi, proactive plays to force these Purifies out. Hazel, he can kind of do whatever he wants to do unless threatened. So unless we see some resistance from DXS from minute number 1, this should be an Aero game.
One thing's for sure, though, the first couple minutes of the game are going to be the most important. Who is able to get that momentum? Who is able to get their foot through the doorway first? Will Aero Esports be able to secure a clean series to move on to the lower bracket finals? Or will the Dark Horses push them to their limits one final time? Let us find out in the land of Dawn.
Both junglers starting parallel. Actually, no, inverse jungling. Both of them on the orange buff opening. So Hazel is going to end up on the top side of the map. Can't believe we are already at this stage. Reza having a lot of pressure on top of him. That's a flicker out. So was able to get some intel for himself, but at least DxO forces something out of him.
Yep. I mean, you can see that came in trying to go for at least a clear Storm. Oh boy. Hopefully he doesn't lose the wave EXP. He managed to secure at least one minion here, but the second one I think he might get zoned out.
Yeah, he needs Rossi to help him.
This guy in some trouble though. He's stuck between 3 members. He has to flicker out. Rossi now gonna be the one stuck outside. Hazel chases him down. Wall comes out, but he's under the tower. Aero will not force it. Yin Yang reaction does a lot of damage, but both mid laners will also survive.
Okay, at least there's some resistance, like what Gideon wanted from DxO, right? They're trying to, they are trading a lot of their health bars. They're using it as resources to make sure that Aero Esports gets stiff arm. Skies are able to push a Kusei back as well. There was a gang angle for Kimin, but wasn't able to take it. A way better start for DxO to potentially keep that fairy tale alive in this lower bracket semis.
I sure hope so here. Right now, SkyZ hasn't really gotten to play the game in these past couple of matches at the very least. And this time around, he might have an opportunity. But Kusei is going to make it difficult, right? This is not exactly the most favorable matchup in the lane. Oh man, missed it from the side of ZQ.
That would have been a huge catch if he was able to find it, but the EXO right now still doing a good job of making sure they don't give up too much early to Aero.
It was a blind fist break too. If that caught Keeman, that would have been just the unluckiest moment in this game. Siska and DK will hit 4, but Siska will get that to that point. First, DXO now having intentions to contest the turtle.
Yeah, I don't think DXO should be contesting this. Rossi's not level 4. It's not like Nolan's going to be able to outpace it. Right now, even for Aero, right, they're really taking their time. They want to lead into getting the snowball early. They want Ace to get that early level lead.
Kiwi's not here. Rossi's able to dash away from Zeke. Here comes Storm as well. Yin Yang reaction, but Reza able to tank quite a lot of damage. Grab, gonna land on top of Hazel. Pulls him back in. First blood to Rossi. And a fist crack going to find Kimin, but he's able to dash out of it. Yin Yang reaction once again. The duality melts them down. And now it is only Reza left in the jungle of the EXO. It'll take some time, but the job is done. The X take 3 kills and the first turtle.
See what happens when you get priority in lane. See what happens when Siska unlocks himself. They're gonna get so close.
Traction pulse. Okay, Kimin's out. That was very close.
Sad. Did not have enough damage here. I don't think he had the lethal ignition proc as well, which is a little awkward. But hey, regardless, great plays coming in from Siska. Got to use the spread multiple times. Got to use his ult twice in that fight. Usually the first one is more than enough.
Yeah, but if you get a takedown, it goes on a 5-second cooldown, which is pretty ridiculous. And now he gets to sandbag Hazel a little bit. And sure, you're gonna get the camp, but you know, Hazel. Diversion.
Oh, they're looking for him. Oh, 3 members. But he's able to dash
that was
away.
so close. A fraction of a second early, Hazel would have been dead for sure.
Yeah, I really thought that Siska might have gone for like a bit of a chase, you know, a quick.
Just root him for a while.
Yeah, root him for a while, maybe even flicker on him, just to kind of show dominance. I don't know, something to get into that mind. Either way, we haven't really seen Rossi grab anybody just yet. He's unlocked his ultimate for a while now, but we haven't seen much really happening other than Siska pushing, poking, and prodding.
Just what you say is a flicker. Tsunami Slam pulls him right into the jaws of the beast. Kim is down.
Good stuff. No Purify for another 10 seconds. Rossi once more pushes Zeke away. They should see Hazel just about now. So DXO, they establish control over that mid lane. Another diversion play.
Storm as well as Kimin gonna be sent in the jungle. Oh, he was outside the bush. Did Zeke spot him there?
Just chill.
No, Zeke
Nice.
Hazel, Traction Pulse finishes off Storm. But Kimin will be able to escape with some help from Siska.
Just either is unfortunate or it's a good game sense for Zeke. Either way, it's a good punish on the Storm. Although I would say DXO, at least they didn't lose Kimin. He still gets to claim his purple buff, still gets to heal up a little bit. Might put themselves in a position to contest for the next turtle, but Aero Esport this time, Hazel has shown himself in the top lane. Let's see what DXO's response is.
Yep, Kimin, he's very close to level 9. He's pretty even with Hazel at this point.
Flicker for several skies there. Tsunami Slam pulls in the Badang. Zeke is just gone. Melted. Removed from the earth entirely. Reza forced to use Flicker, but Grab just pulls him back in, and the artillery fire finishes him off.
Nice, Hazel. Nice.
Should not be here anymore. He backs it off, cuts their losses.
Man, Hazel still makes it there in time for the turtle?
He does. I mean, to be fair, DXO was dragging out considering how many they actually caught, right? At the end of the day, they still walk away with more kills. Siska, okay, he still had his ult. What are you gonna do about it? Can't do it. Easy immune for that point in time. Able to purify out of the way. Create just enough distance. Regardless.
Nice.
Oh, they found Skyset.
Oh, that's a flicker commitment too from Zeke. Aero Esports, they again willing to throw bodies at DXO. At one point, DXO has almost close to a 2,000 goal lead that has evaporated. Just like that, bottom tier 1 goes down. Aero Esports equalize the economy.
Oh, all right.
Equalize the economy. Yeah.
After getting pulled first into the fight and ended up losing the fight overall for his team, he makes up for it by using that flicker on the bot side to crack open that tier 1. And Gusei finally unlocked from the
This is a Aero game, but
Yeah, Yeah, things are now starting to look a bit problematic for DX. They were able to play a really fast tempo initially, and that's exactly what we were wanting from them in order to maintain some control on the map. But in just a few short moments, Aero has already evened up the net worth difference despite having half the kills.
Yeah, I think one of the sources of that stems from not this diversion, that's from the fact that Aero Esports is just a lot more low commitment compared to DxO in terms of the resources that they have to start a fight, right? With Zkif, Kim, they can keep on fighting, but for DxO, they're waiting for crucial cooldowns, crucial timings for their abilities. Some of them have to land. They need a purple buff for the Nolan, or he needs to at least have full energy without the purple buff. A lot of things that DxO needs to take into consideration. But for Aero, they can fight on a dime. DK finds the cash, Kim can follow up easily.
Either way, I still think that itemization is a lot easier for DxO at this point, right? Everybody wants to get Radiant Armor. Everybody wants to make sure they also have the Blade Armor too.
Oh, another pick! Hazel secures the turtle, but Reza gets picked up. He's able to flicker away from the mid lane. And that means no casualties here.
Yeah, the Goblins actually blocked out the...
Oh, diversion! They appear behind the Irritel, but Kosei just dashes through the tower instead. Really well played by Aero Esports.
Easiest escape of his life.
Nice kill, see, Kosei.
Always be
Nice
looking for
Kosei.
escape routes, right? Exactly what Aero Esports need to be doing. They have a composition that moves really fast. Their anchors are going to be Kim. Oh my god!
Wow!
Definitely hasn't lost his confidence. He's willing to make those plays.
Hazel's in the backline. Electroing beats. He almost kills Stone, but now he is stuck. He's been stunned. He tries to dash away. Grab on top of him. Fist crack on CK, zoning out the rest. But Hazel is pulled back into the eye of danger. And he is taken out. CK is got well, but Storm gonna be traded. Reza's in backline. Tsunami Slam pulls him in the tower. And Kimin finishes him off. It is a 1-for-3 trade with DxO coming out on top.
Bit of overcommitment from Aero. Not gonna lie, Hazel trying to 1v5. Almost takes out Storm, but at the cost of his life. You cannot disrespect that glue like that. Running through all of his abilities, Siska continues to do work as the front line, and now they will take away that purple buff.
Oh yeah, finally. Decent punishment from sudden DXS. Really slapping the hand of Aero Esports. They still have a goal lead, to be fair, but mainly because of the missing structures that we've seen from the aftermath of some of these fights. If not, the fact that Aero doesn't really want to interact with DXS in the first place, right? So as this game continues to progress, we're 4-9 so far. DxO are the ones who are dependent on Rossi to prime the engagement. At this point, how does Aero Esports deal with Siska? Because I don't see much of an answer. They kind of have to move around the glue rather than through him.
We're already seeing the difference in impact when Siska is actually allowed to play the game, right? We talked about the importance of EXP lane prio for DX. Ooh, Kim engages up. Wow! The fracture! And Kim explodes in a single second, but Hazel looking for some revenge. Dashes through Kimin, tries to escape, but runs into Reza. Tsunami Slam though, gonna pick up Hazel in turn. The junglers have been traded. Reza tries to go in again at low HP and gives the double kill to Skyzit.
And Skyzit is eating good. Finally gets a piece of the pie for himself. Sky Piercer stacks are coming online. DxO instantly turns onto the Lord. Kim is still 10 seconds out. But DxO, they're not gonna wait. They're gonna whittle down the Lord as fast as possible. Here comes ZK.
ZK with conceal, gets the fist crack on Storm into the snipe. Kosei finishes off the Loyi. ZK sets it up, traction both points.
Nice, nice.
Beam. Kim
Totally.
is but he's able to purify out of it. Kosei playing time, but Skyzit with the mega kill. Picks up the snipe. Kosei jumps on with the grab into the shutdown. Skyzit, double kill.
I don't get it. Why didn't Kosei walk alongside Kim to take out Skyzit on this Granger, force out that flicker, at least reset, lose it, make him lose those stacks on the Sky Piercer? It went from split angles, and somebody had to distract the tank, I suppose.
Skyzit now 5-1 and 4. See Halberd online. Right after that fight, DxO, another diversion. No, this one is just to bring the whole team closer to the Lord as they started off for the second time. Siska actually gets tracked down by the Little Wanderer. Let's see if Hazel can make magic here.
I don't know if Aero Esports wants to contest it this time, but Reza is walking forward. Kimin will secure a traction beam. Gonna miss entirely. Tsunami Slam pulls Kimin. But Siska has been abandoned. Looks like Aero Esports will be able to get one kill for free.
Small price to pay for a Lord and a definitive lead for DxO. Bottom wave will eventually be shouted up by Kimin to translate into a tier 1. ZK with his immortality online for the next fight. But Aero Esports, they got some good lanes on the top side of the map, which DxO will have to attend to.
Wait, is Hazel... Wait, hold on. Is King trying to buy a DHS or something? Go for it.
With some nature.
Conceal play. Good disengage from DxO. Make sure no one is caught there, and even the minions are cleared up.
Diversion.
Play.
Nice.
The fist crack.
Nice.
Them down. But Duality doing a lot of damage. It's a monster kill from Sky Zen and Tsunami Slam purified away. Kose able to escape. DxO respond in kind. They lose no one, but Reza goes down.
Holy cow, that timing on the fist break from Zkif is a pixel perfect. Lands it as soon as they landed. That I honestly thought Aero would have been able to turn that around for a split second. But the fact that they only lost Reza is the silver lining. DxO does not get any damage onto the inhibitors.
Do you think he pre-buffered it? Do you think he jumped into the portal with the break and then as a TP to just land?
Most
or
definitely.
He just waited and then went through it. I can't. It's hard to tell when you don't see the starting point.
No,
Pretty sure it was the former.
Yeah, I think he just waited in the bush and then he primed his fist break on the TP timing.
That's crazy.
Holy cow.
I mean, there's no real way to react to that, I suppose. But luckily, you know, a couple of purifies get him out of the situation. And DxO, Rossi, now a little more hesitant. You can see that he's like, oh, whoa, after that, we got to be careful about Lo Yi. Lo Yi is going to be a big player in this battle. Zkif, however, I think at this point, right, if he is trying to disengage, I think he needs to look like a juicy target, right? He needs to get picked up by the Tsunami Slam, allow Reza and maybe even Hazel to jump into it while he quickly channels his ult to try and cancel it. Either or, it's going to be a battle of the supports at this point.
Positioning is going to be key now. DxO with 4K gold lead is finally in a position where they want to be in. Siska also passing the 200 assist milestone in his very first season of MPL. This is looking to be much more the typical DxO that we know, and that means Aero Esports needs to be very respectful.
They've unlocked the hardcore mode. The full series DxO mode seems to be online for now, but it's only certain if they can close out this one for a start. And so far, Skyzer, he just got his Rose Gold Media, so basically decked out the items, and his team has been protecting him really well. Skyzer finally gets to find space to perform, to really dish out numbers.
Well, he did. Now, just take our time with this. This Lord is going to be a make it or break it for either side. We're 14 minutes into the game. Most of the time, we would have seen teams rush this Lord, considering how many macro movements we've seen across the battlefield, and not to mention, at least for the diversion, is still in play for DxO. Aero is especially careful at clearing out these bushes.
And DXS is able to leave Siska alone, right? Like if he gets jumped on by 5 people, he's gonna go down for sure. But they have diversion, you know, to act as reinforcement, as Siska is tanky enough to soak up a lot of damage. So now it's between Siska and Reza to see who can open up more parts of the map to create these safe angles for the team to walk past.
Definitely a lot easier for Siska this time around, though. This is one of his comfort picks, and we've already seen the difference that makes. Just draw a line in the sand. Don't allow Aero Esports to walk past a certain point, and that makes these engagements a lot more difficult. They've already used their diversion to get closer to the Lord Pit, but it's taken long enough that it will be available again, and Aero Esports are looking for alternative paths to victory here.
I think at least for this Lord take, DxO, they're just waiting for information to be deployed on the map, right? Top side is a slow push. Bottom side, maybe a slow push into their side of the map, but at least they can manage it pretty quickly. Which is why you see DxO, it's all about just taking control over this side of the map and dragging this out. Eventually, somebody is going to show up with the waves.
Hussein ZK tried to de-push the lane, but it didn't do it properly enough, so it's still a slow push up top. That's why we saw DxO walk up just a little bit to gain more control of the Lord, but still, they need more info on where Aero is. And for DxO, don't really need to force the Lord at this point, as long as they have a slow push in top lane, diversion play.
Oh, it might have been scouted out, actually. Yeah, ZK was in the bush, so Storm gonna decide not to take that. Probably the wise choice. They know now, though, that there is no diversion for DX.
They can walk up a little bit more honestly. Upside still slow pushing at this point as DxO really trying to maximize their farm time, but Aero want to hold control over this so they can bait DxO out.
Good idea.
Here comes the conceal. ZK gonna find Kim in. He locks him down with the fist crack in the tri-thrust. He has to dash away.
Nice.
What?
Hazel died, bro.
Skyset found
Nice. Oh, fuck.
Secures the Lord.
Diversion.
Diversion.
Diversion. They're gonna go forward. They cut them off midway. They jump on Kim right off the bat. Reza sniped off the map. Kim goes down, and another one will quickly follow. Kim can only pray and hope to buy time. But SkyZ is legendary.
There's no way.
How did... That was the best possible opening for Aero, but props to DxO for finding Hazel in the process. Now, they extend their best of 5.
He's the last one left. I don't think he's gonna be able to hold this. Hazel's back, but it's still 2v5 in this particular situation. They're gonna try and pull the Lord away, but it's on top of the crystal. The fracture finishes Gosei off, and the crystal is wide open. GX
Nice.
keep themselves in the running by taking game number 3.
All right, we got a series on our hands, gentlemen. DxO pushes
Oh.
into number 4,
Oh,
taking
yeah.
down Aero in a situation I could have sworn was the checkmate angle. With how Aero found Kim in, but DXS, just for some reason, when push comes to shove, when their backs are against the wall, they just strike back twice as hard.
They really did. They really did. They clumped up a little too close together. They fell into the choke point, and Storm said, "Yes, Daddy, give me that choke point." So good. Well done for DXS playing throughout that game. Finally, we do see a mistake actually coming up from the side of Aero. They became very hesitant dealing with the duality, and more importantly so, Hazel should not have died there at all. They could have secured that Lord. Jose could have reset the Lord. So many things could have went in their way had they just taken a little bit of time.
Yeah, they forced the move, they committed to it, but just some micro adjustment that didn't go their way. But DxO won their first game in this BO5. I wonder, what does it sound behind the mic?
Don't worry about Niradel. No one.
Kendor,
Pada, aku kira dah. Nice. Alhamdulillah. Nice one. Tolu ye. See? Tom. Tom.
One step at a time for DXS. The young guns stay alive in this lower bracket semis. One more chance to right the wrongs, but of course they are still on the back foot with Aero having one more game ahead of them and needing one more to proceed to the LBF. So DxO, they've cleared out some mistakes from game 1 and 2. They were able to match Aero's pace. They were able to create safe space and control Hazel, which became their target for game 3. Is that going to be the case for game 4? Do they continue down this route?
Well, at the very least, they know that this is a viable strategy to go for. Whether or not they'll decide to commit to it is still a question mark, because flexibility is still going to be very important, as I imagine that Aero Esports will be looking to fix what exactly they did wrong in this game as well. But at the very least, they have found that path. There is signs of life coming in from DxO here, and we talked about this. They need to play for certain priorities. If you let Siska play the game, if you give some space to SkyZ, it suddenly looks very, very different.
I agree, but at the same time, I think it came down to in-game decision-making more than anything else. I think that in terms of the draft, I would say that Aero had a slightly better draft. I mean, the glue obviously was a problem, but when you find picks like, catching Kimin on Tri-Brush, being able to have like a fully scaled Irithel ready to go, but you can't seem to find, unfortunately this time, SkyZ, which is why we saw in the mic check both Siska and SkyZ. Siska smiling ear to ear. SkyZ was like, that was a fun game. They actually got to play their side lanes properly this time.
Yeah, and that has kind of been the theme that we expected coming into this for DXS. You play to win from the side lanes, and as long as Storm doesn't get dumpstered in his lane, you free up Rasi to help. And even for Rasi, on this Kalea, and also the MVP of Game 3, was able to finally right the wrongs of the first 2 games. On this Kalea of all people, what was that? Season 12 Krik, what you can do. Rasi makan terus, DxO with love. Dengan DxO, aku terbang bro. I believe that's what he said to Ansha when they made playoffs.
Oh, that is what he said.
It's an assumption.
It's an assumption.
But it's a good assumption.
A very good assumption indeed. Throughout this game, the fact that he was able to make it to that fleeting time, I was pretty surprised, right? Considering that the earlier stages of the game was like, all right, you want to go for something? First couple of fights didn't exactly look the greatest, but they still kept it relatively even. Then he made sure that he had the blade armor. Once that blade armor came through, it's like, all right, I am less worried about dealing with this mid laner. Like, actually, shoot into me. I don't mind.
Yeah, Rousey had a very important role in this game, not necessarily as the main initiator, but as the player that would ensure that no one is able to freely jump on top of SkyZ. There's a lot of backline engagement coming out of Aero Esports from this draft, and there's only very limited tools for DxO to actually use to make sure that the Granger doesn't get blasted by the Joy when they're not looking. So the positioning from Rousey was definitely clean enough, and there was enough faith that Siska would be able to hold the front line alongside him, that he's able to guard less of the space and focus more of his efforts onto specific targets.
We might not have time to point this out, but actually Hazel ended the game 1-5-4, which is pretty surprising because I thought he maybe had a couple more kills under his belt. But then when we think back into game number 3, Hazel was trading a lot of 1-for-1s, and most of the time it didn't end up in his favor, right? Someone else got the kill. So this game, despite the fact that it was 9-21, it could have been Aero's game at a drop of a dime.
Yeah, that's the thing. None of these fights actually worked out in their favor here. I think that DxSoul came back into their old fighting style. They have a formula kind of set, ready to go. Everybody kind of understood what their roles needed to be, and especially for Keeman, right? Because I think out of all of the roles, Keeman and Stoem probably had the hardest decisions to make in that game. Do I start splitting into the side? Do I need to show presence? Now, more so, can we get Stoem in a position with the help of the diversion to get us in a position where we can actually punish our opponents? 2 times we saw that Zeke sniffed it out before it even happened. 2 times in a row in their side of the map, which ended up costing DxO a couple of souls, a couple of lives, but it didn't break them entirely.
Yeah, I think for Keeman also, he was a lot more independent this game on this Nolan, making great individual choices, getting solo kills as well, like the one on the Kim in the mid lane. So overall, despite that harrowing last moment where Keeman could have lost it all, it does not overshadow the overall performance that he had in Game 3.
We have to note as well that Aero Esports just actually doesn't have all that much crowd control. They're heavily dependent on Zkif to actually set things up, to lock people down, and since he is going to be the one initiating the fight a lot of the time, as long as the DPSs from DxSoul are able to escape that initial fight start, they basically get to do whatever they want for free. Reza, unfortunately, was limited in a lot of his capabilities since he wasn't really able to get as much of an early snowball as he wanted. And Hazel definitely overstepped his boundaries way too many times in this game, believing that he would be strong enough to walk in and get free kills and get out of his life intact. DxSoul had the tools to slowly dismantle the Aero Esports roster bit by bit.
I think the beauty of this match is the fact that DxSoul, in terms of just raw amounts of recalls, a lot less than Aero Esports. Their side laners didn't really need to go for these big recalls unless they knew they were going in for the or going to get dived upon. But that's where Rossi comes into play, right? That's where he comes up, tops up his side laners, goes back out, and still is able to maintain himself within that fight. That's something that Aero Esports can't really necessarily do. They're very, I drop my abilities, I move back out. The only exception to that was their mid laner on Kimmy.
Yeah, and even for DxO, they also have diversion, which they use very generously, right? From base to Lord Pit, not a problem. Hall of Famers, this time all goes over the DxO, Rich Guy and Damage, and the carry, both going over to SkyZ. We got a sandbag with Siska, and Rasi as the best wingman.
And we gotta give some props to SkyZ though. His positioning was very, very clean this game, and we kind of see now how it can be pretty safe to lock in your DPSs early on in the draft. This Granger was picked third pick on red side. Not really a common position, but it's fairly safe to go for it because even if he does get countered in lane, as long as he's provided the space necessary, he will still become that late game carry. And by doing so, you free up the later picks that you can use for counters in more important lanes.
They still fulfill the condition of we give Siska a hero that can be self-sufficient, right? Either he's a nuke like the Marsha, or he's the split pusher like Bandetta, or someone like a glue/Hilda where he can just stay in lane and he can keep frontlining for his team. As long as both Siska and SkyZ achieve the condition, I think all will fall into place.
I think this does force Aero Esports to kind of rethink what the second phase of the draft is going to start looking like right now. I think as long as Glue is in play, it actually really affects their plans, right? Not only is it a winning matchup in a lot of these cases, for Siska, but it also affects their own game plan, thinking of whether or not I have to keep a mid lane open pick for a team like Farm is just to counter it. And that's something that most coaches are going to be like, but Kimmy's available, but Loyi's available.
And we can see that play there. It was perfectly timed by ZK to get that face crack in, but they weren't able to lock down SkyZ long enough, and then he became a problem. And then here was a huge mistake as well. This was a chance for Aero Esports to turn things around. They found Keeman before the fight even started, but then Hazel ended up dying first, and then the Lord is just gone, and after that, there's no way of clawing back.
I can't believe it, right? Because like their only source of crowd control was away from the rest of the team, and Hazel ran straight into DXS. And fatal mistake for game 3, and that's how DxO came back. I don't want to say that DxO won solely off of the mistakes of Aero. They themselves also have made some good plays. But now DxO need to turn it up a notch a little bit, right? Take control of the game a lot more and try to win it out by relying lesser on Aero making some egregious moves.
Yeah, no, I agree, because the draft definitely may not necessarily be on their side all the way. It's a lot more even compared to the past couple of games, but you need a bigger advantage if you really want to chalk up the momentum coming up to a game 5. Because again, you're trying to start a reverse sweep. Winning that second game off of the first game usually is the stopping point for a lot of teams. So I'm hoping that at least from Coach Theo's side that he's got a plan coming into this.
But it's a good sign. It's a good start. I like the adaptations that we saw in the draft. I like that they were willing to bring in a new hero like the Nolan here, because it really fit what they were looking for, to provide that independence as well as the movement speed to match up to the really quick tempo that Aero Esports was trying to play. We are now starting to see that for this particular matchup, that early game is very, very important. The snowball momentum really carries both of these teams. And so we might start to see the draft shift a little bit more into early game heroes.
Yeah, which is what I expect when we have Aero Esports in play. When you look at the teams that have dealt with them successfully, SRG, OG, Homeboys, and DXS in that game 3, Aero has not really changed how they approach the game, right? They want to go fast, they want to hit you hard with high mobility, low commitment heroes, but teams that stop them usually create a safe space for themselves, or they get priority onto the side of the map in the early game, which I think is what DxO achieve a lot more in game number 3. If they keep up this formula, if they decide to continue taking the fight to Aero, I can see us going to a game 5.
But see, that's the thing, right? I think that DxO need a clearer game plan of how they want to make things happen. Like, they cannot depend, as you mentioned, on just Aero making those mistakes. One of the few picks that I thought was a little iffy was going to be the Nolan. I think that could have been Ling, right? And I mean, comparatively in terms of just like raw damage, the scaling for Ling seems to be just a little bit better. But let's also look at the highest average damage per minute coming across the world right now.
Starting it off, we have Siggy Boom from Aurora Turkey with a 4.5k. We've got Xing from CFU, 4k. Innocent in third, 3.7k from SRG OG. We've got Tadera from Geek Fam and Ohab, the champions of MPL PH Season 15 in 5th.
Very, very interesting stats here. And it's nice to see that we are getting more and more representation from different regions as well in terms of highest DPM. It really shows just how much more international the Mobile Legends ecosystem is becoming, and how much more dangerous it is as well, with every single region really stepping up to the plate in preparation for MSC.
But is this the premonition, right? Because 3 out of the 5 candidates won their region. And then we have Geek Fam and SRG OG. Maybe that's a thing. You know, SRG OG are the favorites after all. But we talked to Coach Bam this time regarding how he decides who plays the XP lane in the final lineup. And he says it depends on the strategy. If they have a specific strat against SRG OG, both times they did play Aaron, and Aaron will play because that play style is what they're going for, because he's trying to maximize each player's strengths depending on the opponents, but he also lets the players know a week earlier if they're playing the series. Oh, I thought he surprised them, like, hey, wake up, Aaron, you're playing today. Huh, what? SRG OG.
He kicks his side, he's like, get up, Aaron.
Get up, SRG OG, it's your turn.
It was walk into the stadium and flip a coin. Heads or tails, call it right now.
So when the marshal was making them do coin flips for side selection, he's also deciding on Aaron or Reza, right?
Yeah, he goes into the draft. It's like, okay, you're playing today. Starts texting Aaron on the side. Hey, SRG OG next time. All right, that's the game you're playing up right now.
You guys
Aaron
take
is-
turns.
You guys.
Aaron's like, no, not again.
Why SRG?
Why you always give me SRG? Come on, give me something else.
Why do I always have to play Luigi?
Is my control connected right now? Either way, I think that I'm guessing that Aero probably wants. Does he still want to be on the blue side at this point? I feel like they do want to be on the blue side, but
I think so too.
But at the same time, I feel like that joy is a pattern, right? That's something that DXL was able to figure out. It's like, hey, you prefer this joy rather than going into the Boxia opener.
Yeah, I think between Boxer and Joy openers, we've only have one sample side, right? That one game that they go for the Joy. But I think if you're Aero, you probably still prefer blue side? Just because...
I think so.
Because you don't think so?
No, I would think so.
Oh, you would think so. Because I feel like they have been able to force DXS into trades that make DXS play a lot more safer. And then it opens up power picks for Aero. Well, not this game. They go on red side this time.
Interesting.
Wow, Yi Sun Shin Fanny and Loyi ban.
Your team is taken.
Ooh, okay.
Huh?
That does deal with the Joy.
Interesting.
Okay.
I'm actually all for this. I'm actually all for this now because Coach Theo is saying we're willing to sacrifice this Phobius, assuming that you want to deal with it in the mid lane. That actually works in our favor. If it happens to counter the Joy, that's also good. But if you want to win out this lane, you're going to have to do a lot more.
All right, so Aero shifts it up. They take a Baxia flex, but they also give Kusei one of his
Go, let's go, let's go.
Oh, are they going to force
Coba lagi, RRQ lagi. Dia Malaysia, Aero Esport, tapi ada satu pemain RRQ di Aero Esport.
Oh.
Junglernya.
Harith is open.
Harith is open.
Harith
right.
is open, Moskov is open. I don't think they have to be forced to
Ini apa sih namanya kayak minjem kayak gitu ya?
Apa?
Minjem pemain.
Iya. Di loan.
Boleh kayak gitu ya? Boleh. Kayak dong tahu sih.
Tapi dia ada kontrak. Dia kontrak 2 bulan gitu, di kontrak 2 bulan. Setelah itu udah selesai pertandingan. Udah. Balik lagi ke tim utama.
No. You're gonna do push-ups when you get back. Second phase, what else do we have to worry about? Chip is still on the table technically, and I think that Coach Bam.
Aku udah bisa mirroring handphone.
Oh, jadi ininya ke apa sih? Left.
Jadi aku play di sini yang ke.
Oh, pakai aplikasi lagi tambahan. Padahal kan sebenarnya kan ininya kan bukan Apple kan?
Bukan. Ada tambahan, cuma dari PC-nya doang, dari handphonenya nggak lagi.
Oh, PC-nya apa? Pakai ini. Namanya apa?
Namanya itu Let's View.
Tapi di sininya tinggal di
mirroring aja.
Mirror baru langsung ke
nanti connect. Dan aku udah, maksudnya tanpa harus pakai ini, tanpa harus pakai green screen, dia udah bisa di ini.
Oh, udah bisa
hilang background.
Wah, gila. Ini terlihat di mana ini.
Aku cari tahu namanya, maksudnya nggak.
Bagus lah, emang harus begitu. Aku juga dulu sempet kayak gitu, malah bisa diatur jadi bulat.
Iya.
Kan bukan kotak kan?
Iya.
Biasanya kan kita kotak kan?
Bisa diatur jadi bulat-bulat ya.
Forcing DXS onto purifies. Is that what you want to do? I guess it's better for your gold later if Harith is stuck on that purify, so he can't just flicker on Ranger as soon as he gets his ult.
Good, Matilda ban.
Nicely done.
The high-lows got taught actually is still a
Haya.
safe option for Aero Esports here. They want to play for more zone control.
That's fair.
They go high-lows got taught? Oh man.
I think you get rid of
Ini kan.
Yeah, I think you get rid of got taught.
Like at a bare minimum, you get rid of Gatot. Oh, but okay, that kind of works in the same way. Does that mean that DXS wants to use Gatot as a way to deal with Farsa? Or they're just going to be like, keep it, you'll get on top of the feathered airstrike one way or another?
I mean, they also have the Cho. It's not the best. I think not the best in this situation. What else does Rasi have left? He has a signature Khalid, which I don't.
Paling link sih.
No, not this game.
Yeah, not this game.
Can't. There's too much Especially when you're up against like a down potentially going roam. It's not in your.
Do you just go high?
Mereka
Oh man, this Baxia.
pasca
It's a bit of a problem.
Valentina.
I like that because I feel like Aero could have gone Lucas last pick, so they picked the Valentina in advance just in case, and then the Cho
Link
comes in
Red
for us.
Train.
A flashy accompaniment.
Dang it.
Wow, okay.
Hopeful, but also interesting.
Wow.
Because he knows he has to play into both the Hayabusa as well as the Cho. Ideally, you want to get a 1v1, but that probably isn't going to be the case. And not to mention that he knows that Fulvius is on the other side as well. Man, he really doesn't want to play the tank junglers. He's like,
I understand. I totally get it. When you are able to play the game as good as Hazel is, do you really want to play tank jungle?
Hey, you do what you gotta do, man. You do what you gotta do.
The job is to kill people.
Yeah, exactly. Going gets tough. Maybe consider switching your role. not for Hazel. He's too young for that. But man, this particular draft is interesting because DXS is very all dependent, right? As soon as those are down, that's when Aero Esports can actually extend these fights a lot longer than it probably should be. In terms of raw invasion, the pushing speed is relatively the same between both sides.
There's a lot on the line right now. DXS have finally been able to put 1 point on the board, but they're gonna need more if they want to keep themselves in the competition and break into the top 3. Will Aero Esports finally be able to end their journey and take the series? We return once again to the land of Dawn for game number 4.
That kind of tells me that we might go to game number 5 just because DXS scored 0.1, but hey, Rasi on this show is a trip down memory lane. When he was back with the Niners, Cho was also very popular back then, but Rasi was one of the few that really showed off on this hero too. Didn't Helson get the priority mid. Stolen's Valentina was also kind of a flashback, a throwback as well.
I mean, we could say the same about Stone's Cho.
Would he keep his break, catches Rasi, he dashes out, but that allows Hazel to secure the little.
Yeah, for now, I think it's just, again, both sides looking to sandbag each other, right? As much as possible. Really hoping for these kills to land on their junglers because both junglers could, honest to God, get a single kill and win the game off of that alone. For the time being, though, in terms of battle spells, I'm seeing Impure Rage coming out of Storm. He's not looking for survivability. The extra bit of damage for the early to mid stages of the game is going to be useful, especially when you have to deal with Reza constantly in your face all the time anyways. Which, though, as we see the first rotations come by, they end up towards gold side, but then a quick rotation from Keeman down to the bot. Bot side is going to be a dead lane, right? I don't see any gank angles actually happening there. Can they find an invasion later down the line? I don't think so.
Probably not. They're already on the case. Hazel's pathing very, very efficient. Get this lizard cam and Purple Buff will be back on. Reza will hit forward just a little bit as he shadow wave in a bit late.
Dark Wave gets 2-man knockup. Rasi also follows up with the Jeet Kundo. Keeman gonna be looking for Zeke now. Not gonna commit the Ogi shadow kill. Wants to save it for the turtle.
I felt like if he hit his shadow, he would have committed to it. He's gonna disrupt Hazel and taking his purple buff.
Rasi trying to stop Hazel, not gonna be successful, and he gets walled off. Reza also buying a lot of time. Turtle is reset, Benedesra comes in, Hazel sets it with Ziska picks up the first blood. Rasi gonna be trapped in the backline. So far, it's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade on the EXP laners. Aero Esports though, very, very low.
Ooh, wow, Hazel had to make a tough call. Who does he go for? In the middle of the Tempest, the Blades. Does he jump right on top of Storm, or does he look for an opportunity for a bit of Rasi? Both in pretty similar angles for a kill position. Didn't get either one. And also got chunked in the mid-time. However, I feel like DXS, they gotta be a lot more careful when they're playing these tunnel dances especially. Because Keeman, he could have easily just walked away from the tunnel entirely, gotten to level 5, and then come back into the fight after the
Uh-oh, Fizz Crack catches Rasi. He shouldn't pose away, but he is basically out of the fight. Keeman secures the turtle. Bandit Airstrike does not succeed in stealing it away.
Yeah, good stuff from DXS. Keeman though.
This is actually trying to fight this. Keeman holding onto his ultimate, finally pops the Tempest Blades, also used. Reza is stuck, and he's king! Way of the dragon finds Hazel! Knocks him out of the sky and picks him up.
Stolen with the stolen feather airstrike to provide air support too for DXS. So well done. Aero really tried to catch Kimin without the shadows, but the shadow kill bought more than enough time for DXS.
Yeah, more than enough time. Honestly, really nicely done. Oh.
Trying to engage on Kosei, but SkyZ taking a lot of poke in return. Feathered Airstrike will miss him out. The Harib will be able to get away. Rasi goes in. Doesn't have the way of the dragon. Forces the flicker out. Storm chases Kosei and picks him up.
And Kimin, threatens Kim. He does have the shadow kill, but again, shadows didn't connect. Might be a bit of a communication breakdown on Aero. They were not communicating properly what abilities were offline. Rasi never had the kick to begin with.
Yeah, Chris might have lived there had he just timed that flicker, knowing that Storm was gonna jump. Because he saw Storm running up to him after Rasi made the initial attempt. Gonna save some lives there. By the way, the XS, they need something back here.
He commits the kick into the stolen feathered airstrike, and Storm finishes him off. Another feathered airstrike.
No way. Bro.
Infernal Pursuit is the end of Kim.
Nicely played.
This is not looking well for Aero. The game is starting to speed up for DxO. This is the complete opposite of what we expect to happen. But this Cho is making a hell of a lot of play.
I mean, Rossi's doing a very good job. Reza needs to get in front of his face constantly been punishing his life totals. Needs to be uncomfortable as he goes in. If you want to make a super play, he better be at like 40% of his life total.
Been very difficult to actually force him into that position so far, though. DxO have been positioning very, very well, and this guy even rotating over shows that he is in control. He's a full level up on Reza in the EXP lane as well. And they found Hazel again, dropping him to half HP before the fight even starts. Conceal gonna be used. Feathered Airstrike is still coming out of him. Doesn't really do a lot. Revitalize also spent as Kosei is chased away by Siska. The fight officially begins. Way of the Dragon finds Zkim, kicks him away. And Mr. Blaze comes out as well, but the Yogi shadow kill! Meltdown! Aero Esport, they only lose one in return. And EXO take the turtle.
What was that? What was that? This entire time, Zkim has not actually found the initial engagement. So why is Kim dropping his ult, especially without his first couple of items, to make sure that it hurts? I don't get it.
Yeah, first of all, Storm hurts like a truck. First item glowing one. Second of all, Rasi and Siska, they are doing a hell of a job. They just walk up and Kim plus Kosei have to back off. They didn't even need to use their abilities. Rasi is so patient with the kick. And even for Siska, they realize we don't need to commit. We just need to be in front of Aero.
Yeah. Another kick, this time onto Reza in the top lane. Hazel cannot really back him up, but they're not gonna full commit to it. Meanwhile, Ogi Shadow Tail came in, finds Kosei for free in the river.
Was that kind of unlucky or no? I felt like it was like kind of unlucky.
A little unlucky.
Yeah. Oh, he bounced off of Zkim and then just all the stacks on him. Oh, he might find another one here.
Rasi doesn't have ult, but his presence alone is more than enough to force Hazel off of his buff. This is turning from bad to worse for Aero.
And SkyZ just got free from his lane. Feather of Heaven online. Siska first item and TQ Raz. Another Feather Airstrike to clear out the mid wave, but Storm steals the artillery strikes as he backs off.
Dude, Kim needs to calm down with the Feathered Airstrike. He's using it a little... Oh, God.
Given he does have ult, but not going to be able to reach Hazel, so the lane will survive for now.
He keeps going bot. Oh, he still had the shadows. He came back off. No. Wow.
All right, he gets out of that scot-free. The bots are still back up, and I think the Aero need to go for another full clear.
Oh no, they forced the fizz crack out, and it doesn't even do anything. Killing spree for Storm. Aero has lost their initiator, and now Rasi's just going in on it. Reza gonna get knocked up. Revitalized forced out. Feathered Airstrike doesn't do enough damage. The X just walk away.
Yeah, they need to start babysitting the Black Alien, and I felt like they off of the moves of DxO and some errors from Aero, they are forced into this position where Hazel is their salvation. Hazel is the one that's going to bring them back, but even then, it requires a lot of miraculous plays from Hazel. He has to play pixel perfect.
What? Reza? What? Reza playing this dangerously. He's trying to set up. Saman Force comes out. Hazel! He steals the turtle away. Demon picks up the killing spree. Kick on Hazel. SkyZed finishes him off. You may get the objective, but we will get your life. Rafsi dodges away from the veteran airstrike, and Storm is literally still standing there. 1v3 DX. They do not care that they lost the turtle.
All right, boys, it's time to play Who Made the Call. Do you think Reza was telling Hazel, hey, come over here, I'm able to bait them out? Or was Hazel like, Reza, I need you to die for me and I'll steal it? Which one? Who made the call? Because whoever did made a huge mistake.
The team was not ready, that's for sure. Kim was not able to participate. Thanks to Rasi once more.
I feel like it, logically speaking, should have been a Reza call. There's no reason to force that so far out when they're still clearing up the jungle. The EXO looking very composed. They're in their comfort zone here.
I mean, if Rasi can do that.
His crack connects on Rasi into the veteran airstrike. They blow off the jump. They punish him for styling on.
That's what you get, Rasi. That's what you get.
That's what you get. But also, you can see how hesitant Aero Esports. They've lost a little bit of confidence in these fights. They're not as snappy as we saw it. And it looks like there is a slight breakdown of communication because Zeke needs to communicate that Rasi didn't get his reset on his Shenpo and therefore is punishable. If not, Kim would have dropped that feather airstrike instantaneously.
Yeah, he's been really generous with how he uses his salvos for sure. Well, with Rasi out of the map for a while, at least they get to establish control once more on the map, right? They take control of their own side of the jungle, which is something. Some space for Hazel to farm up a little bit. Next Lord coming up on the top side. DxO just set up a push bottom just in time to contest the Lord.
Yep. You just have to play this dancing game, right? Because it's an awkward time when you have like enough items to find a couple of low life targets and execute them pretty easily, but you can't really chunk them out as hard. Maybe for Kuse you probably could, but getting into the danger zone there, especially with Siska Flicker active, could get engaged upon.
Kuse and Hazel haven't really been given enough space to really start scaling up on their late game heroes. But they still need to try and contest objectives wherever they can here. DX Soul just slowly forcing this Lord dance out against them.
Aero doesn't want to pull the Lord over to their side either. DxO, they don't need to rush this. They have plenty of time. They can be patient.
Reza
trying no.
He's already melted down so fast. Revitalized.
Nice.
Delays it a little bit, but Storm picks up the mega kill. The dragon. Rossi kicks Hazel. But Tempest Blaze comes out. He does a lot of damage. Oh, shadow kill.
Nice.
Keeps him alive. Meanwhile, Siska's 1v3 against the rest of Aero Esports, and Storm is providing support. He actually survives all of it. Reza is the only casualty. So close. So close.
Oh, 1 in 3 chance. 1 in 3 chance of finding him. So unlucky. So unlucky. I gotta give it to Hazel there. Very bold move. He was willing to roll the dice on the Yogi Shadow kill, right? He knew that the purple buff was still up, so he's relatively close, able to use that finish poise to kind of close that distance, even though the Shadow kill was on top of him, able to pass it over to the purple before escaping. Really nicely done.
And now it's hide and seek between Kimin and Hazel too, both at the bottom lane. Kimin know this. He's bringing Rasi to the bottom too.
Both junglers are in the bot lane. This is allowing Aero to play a little more. Hazel gonna find Kimin, forces the fight. He uses Tempest Blade too early. And Rasi picks up the kill. Hazel has been removed from the map. Kosei trying to do the same. The Rasi flickers. Oh! He finds it. He's really far out, but the rest of his team is making sure he is not in danger.
Okay, we still have a game on our hands. Keep in mind, Kimin still has his own.
Nice.
Oh my goodness, they blow him up. Kosei picks up the touchdown, but Storm picks up the unstoppable. Now the Zaman Force, SkyZed finishing Reza off. They've traded one for another. 2 bodies. DX Soul still in control.
All right, Kimin didn't need to die there, but Storm with the stolen fist crack saves the fight, and DxO, sure they won that, but you look at the economy, Aero Esports, they're starting to find that gold swing back onto their side. They're getting it back slowly but surely. So DxO, you can't be taking these trades anymore. Any more trades like that down the road is going to start benefiting Aero.
Yeah, it's going to be a net negative if it does ever happen to be the case, especially with the lead that they have right now. They're very close to the next item power spikes, and I think that's what they want right now. With the help of Lore, they should be able to achieve it, or if they just drag it out, take their time with this, hit those item power spikes before committing to a full Lore, then they've got an opportunity, but it almost guarantees that Aero Esports makes it to the late game.
For now, it looks like Jose only has 20 Sky Piercer stacks, so it's not quite in the danger zone yet for DxSoul. But they cannot afford to let him continue building that up. This hero was what allowed DX to take back game number 3 in the first place.
What?
Wave the Dragon used very early. And on the wrong target there.
He probably was making the assumption that Zeke was going to dash into the bush.
DK not going to be able to find the wall up. Better Ezra comes out as well, gets cancelled straight away. DxSoul runs them down with the summon force, guys. Get him out! No!
Nice. Nice.
Picks up the killing spree on the DxSoul goal laner.
You shouldn't be sticking together like that. If SkyZ got out, DxO would have won that 100%, but it gave Kusei his third Skyfisher stack as Kimin locks in his 100th kill in his rookie season.
Nicely done. 100 kills, hard to achieve, especially in your rookie season. But I think Ziska actually had a legitimate flicker angle there on 4 people. I'm surprised he didn't take it, right? He's actually pretty far ahead of the curve. He's 4-2 and 7 at this point in time. He's a level ahead of Reza. He's pretty darn tanky too. So I'm not sure why he didn't go for it, especially seeing the Feathered Airstrike that close.
Kimi starting the Lord is a bad choice.
Aero Esports are in control right now. Feathered Airstrike comes out once again.
Nice. There's a...
Secures the Lord away. We have the Dragon fight Kosei, but Rossi is left all alone. Reza has been surviving the entire time, and he is still in it. He finally gets picked off in the end, but Kosei walks too far forward. Kimin finds the shutdown.
They needed Hazel to be the salvation, and Hazel got the Lord to extend this game for a bit longer. DxO, I'm not really sure if that was the right call. Kimi starting the Lord all on his own just like that.
I mean, technically it wasn't the worst in the world, right? Because at the end of it, he still had the quad channel. It's very obvious unless you see Zeke actually commit to a flicker. And even then, that's just a lot of resources wasted.
Hazel looking for the fight here. Tempest Blade's committed. He's looking for Kimin.
Nice.
He stabs him to death. Storm steals away the Tempest Blade.
What is this game?
Amazing.
It's a game. It's a game, I guess. Kimin does not. Man, I think that Kimin, if he does ever quad shadow, he's got to know that he has to commit the ult before the quad shadow times out, because he knows that the Tempest Blade is going to happen. He knows he's going to get chased down, but I would rather him get chased down with a Fit Voice, no Tempest Blades, rather than Hazel having all the resources in the world that you slowly get chipped away.
Well, all things considered, DxO somehow has a wave advantage in the top lane. After all of that, there's only Skyzen and Siska were dealing with the Lord just now. It is the first one of the game. I can't believe we only have one Lord taken down.
Right? It feels like so much has happened this game. So much absolute chaos has descended.
You know what's more unbelievable? Aero only has 8 kills in total. It felt a lot more than just 8.
I mean, DxL coming in with the 20 here. They're dropping some big numbers, to be fair, but it's only a 1.9 game. We're coming to the late game where that lead doesn't even matter.
Oh, Kimin with the Ogi Shadow kill. Not going to be able to find his target. It gets shared, but they do bait out the fist crack from Zeke.
That's a Purify too from Kim.
That's pretty funny. Pretty funny. But at the considering everything that's happened in this game, who actually scales harder here? I feel like to a certain degree, Aero Esports should have the multiplication factor. I mean, Kim, he's already going for like, what, a glowing wand, genius wand, on top of having a lightning truncheon as well. So he deals some significant damage. Storm, lightning truncheon, glowing wand for his sides. So he's not even thinking about cooldowns. He's thinking about just the raw burst effect onto the back lines.
Storm is 6-0 and 11. The only person who has not gone down on his team too.
Honestly, Storm has been doing some insane work this game. Damage, the presence in the back line, actually stealing some pretty good ults a lot of the time in these team fights as well. So far, he's been able to keep DxSoul in it, but even with the massive kill advantage, the goal difference is not actually that much.
There's a conceal too. I'm not sure if DxO saw it. The neutral lane in the bottom, the long lane will be neutral for both ends. Aero, they have DK parked in that bush there. This guy will have to be the one that checks it if ever.
Oh, they see the purple buff. They know they can definitely start this right now.
They're gonna try and see if they can steal this away from Hazel. ZKip gonna realize that they're here. Stone steals away the fist crack. So that's something to keep an eye out for in the next fight.
Kusei with the Rose Gold Media too. Stoneone will go to the bottom to set up that slow push. I think if you're DX, just want to let Aero start the Lord first. There's not really any incentive to rush it.
Jordan dipanggil Jordan.
To mention that Stone doesn't have a feathered airstrike, right?
What?
Collides with Ziska. The feather airstrike comes out too early, Kim! He's just gone! What is that decision making?
What are you doing, Kim?
You know, they were eager. They were so eager. They're like, we'll take anything. Literally anything.
Oh, here we go once again. Reza taking a lot of damage. Revitalize gonna be used very early on, and the Lord now in control of the Soul. Expect Aero won't try to force this, but Hazel could still sneak in a steal potentially. It looks like no, they're gonna decide against it this time.
If they lose that game off of this, Kim is gonna kick himself hard.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be fuming.
You can't be doing moves like that. You can't just feather airstrike in a long bush with no one backing you up. That's not how you do it.
Not to mention that he's trying to purify and not a flicker. At this point, Ziska already got the Twilight armor. He can tank some damage. He can really eat some shots from the side of Aero Esports. So far, considering though it hasn't been as many shots as I was hoping for the side of Aero, the XS really putting their foot on the gas, right? They've got some momentum riding behind them.
All-time high for DXS for sure. All three waves synced up. And Aero could easily disrupt that equilibrium. They just shove out the top wave, but it's a survival war. You could not have been more perfect for DXO. No purple buff for Hazel for now, unless he steals the one on DXO side.
This could potentially be the final push here. Aero Esports needs to hold this for their lives to keep it. Looks like the inhibitor will go down, but the referee comes out as well. Pro Pursuit doing a lot of damage, guys. There, meltdown, Reza, Zaman Force gonna be used already, and he catches Kim as well for the double kill. Where's the dragon? Gonna lock down Kosei in the backline. Ladies and gentlemen, they've done it again. The Dark Horses of Season 15 will bring us to a full series.
DXO and full series is a synonymous thing, characteristic that you cannot escape no matter where you go, no matter which stage of the competition we're in. It's 3 full games in the regular season and 5 full games in the playoffs. The run is still
What a
alive.
game,
The
bro.
fairy tale continues. And now we truly have entered the final chapter of this season. Game 5 coming up. And this time, we said we don't want DXO to just rely on Aero making mistakes. And Game 4, they did just that. They took control of the game and they forced Aero to play their game.
Hey, now to test the theory true, does DXS always bring it to 3 games every single time? Whether they take it or not is a different question, but it's got the arena livid up. Everybody shouting, trying to get their energy up on that stage.
And with that being said, DXS once more triumphs over Aero Esports. I wonder what this sounds like behind the mic now that they've gotten themselves game number 5.
Yuk, ke mama yuk. Perang.
Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, surprisingly a lot calmer than I thought that mic check was going to be. Especially from Rossi. All we got was like, yeah, and it was it.
Yeah, you can't overheat, They're very emotional players. You know,
That's one of the first things that they have to work on into the playoffs. Do not overheat.
Do not overheat. I can't. The dead of push-ups that Rossi has. He's like, when do I pay this back, sir? Coach, please.
I think we'll only see any pop-off when a team qualifies for MSC. That means winning lower bracket finals.
Oh, that's true. But hey, let's give it over to our MVP of the game. Coming in from DXS. Oh, Stoa pulls it back. You know it. He wants to bring it all the way 3-2.
Yeah, his prediction is going to be right regardless. It just depends on which team wins that last game. But his Valentina is a work of art.
Oh, yeah.
6-0-14, full damage. He does everything. You want him to be a damage dealer? No problem. Feather airstrike. You want him to style on enemies? Tempest of Blaze. You want some extra crowd control? Fist crack. He does it all.
He literally stole every single ultimate that would have some value.
Transmission.
To the Exol in that game and use them all to
Makan mas. What?
High lows all
Nanti
got
kayak
caught,
gitu
right? We
deh.
fall back to a more classic frontline tank. Like Reza plays a very mean high loss, and most of the time, before that Boxer XP was a thing, he gets.
Halo.
I was about to.
Would it be if they want to go for like Selena?
Oh,
Ooh,
it's a storm hero.
It's a storm hero, but at the same time,
Damn it!
God damn it!
It would give a lot of vision.
Damn it, Bam! He's got me. He's got me beat. DXS. Where do we go for now?
It depends if they want more utility or if they want like more team fight potential. If you want the former, Novaria's there. If you want the latter, then you could go into something like the Eve that provides zone control and AoE, but
Zushin, okay.
Zushin is much better because the main issue here is that no matter what artillery mage you pick, Matilda does very well into them. It's not about who the X is, it's just Matilda alone gets you out of Eve ult, able to kind of stop Feather Airstrike as well. So Zushin is a much better pick
Wow.
to be more aggressive lane. Eggsborg, alright, fair. Esme, I don't agree with.
Esme?
What shield are you taking? Oh, I like that.
Esme in the first couple levels actually lanes pretty well into Mash. Oh! Whoa!
Actually, this is not a bad idea.
Beat him up in lane.
This is actually not a bad idea. You get Malefic gun. What you gonna do, Harif?
Yep. What you gonna do?
And then, boop, oh, Matilda, you don't want to fire Brody.
Okay, I take it back. Now, I think Esmeralda might actually have some use this time around. Because getting into that back line and being able to tank a lot of that damage is going to be A-okay. But I think that taking the Stadium Scythe might just be the way to kind of push through.
If he's able to win out that EXP lane, then we already know how important that lane priority is for these two teams in particular. Hazel actually not on an assassin this time, bringing in the Export jungle to counteract the Brethren as well. It all comes down to this. A single game is the difference for Aero Esports and the EXO. One's journey will continue to face off against the homeboys, and one will end their path in MPLMY Season 15. Who shall it be?
Man, this is a very bold choice from Storm to go for a sprint of all things too. Usually you go for Flicker. I think Flicker would have been the go-to choice, but Sprint, I can see the application in this game.
I think Sprint is going to be a lot better in this game. I think Storm made a much smarter choice this time because no matter what, you basically use your ult as a means of a flicker, right? And now we see the early game dominance from the Zushin, trying to make sure that, you know, get as many pickups, hurt your opponents. Wow, inspires all the way through, just to make sure they have the extra CDs to make these plays happen. Luminous Blessings on the both mid laners and as well as the supports. A very similar build. However, we do see that Zeke actually prefers the Quantum Charge to maintain that distance against his opponents and the extra movement speed in case he needs to clutch save somebody.
And DxO, they have someone to run through the chip portal every time Rossi drops it, right? He puts it down, Siska's gonna come through and try to clap someone. The longer this game progresses, the bigger of a threat Siska is once he gets his hands on the backline. Like Kusei, DK, they are not going to survive a fully decked out Masha.
I agree, but at the same time, that's kind of the job of Reza to try to sandbag him, right? Keep him in that lane, deprive him of that farm, really make him go through the long progression of expensive items.
Well, Hazel's gonna be dragged into the mid lane. So, wait, that was a flicker from Kim?
I don't think that was necessary.
Kim is really getting the jitters.
Yeah, I think...
Is that a misplay? Did he press that on accident?
I think he just wanted to be too safe.
Yeah.
Just too safe.
I'm with Husky on this one. I think it's really, really safe. You could have waited until the very last second, but at the same time, there are times where it's like this, where you see the butterfly and you still get picked up sometimes and you just don't react in time.
And he doesn't have Purify, so like your Purify timing has to be used before you
Honestly,
get lifted
dude.
up.
Exactly.
That's why that flicker has to be used.
Alright, I see where you're coming from, but yeah, it definitely felt a little bit premeditated. Oh, Heeman's all by himself here. Export's gonna be knocked down. Fraser's Wrath! Heeman secures the turtle. Here comes the shortcut, and they stun Hazel inside the turtle pit. First blood to Siska.
Uh-oh, getting baited just a little bit. Heeman appraisal's Wrath, gets turtle, Hazel dies.
Invade. Invade.
Just go into the jungle. Okay, they try.
Oh, they don't want to, actually. They realize that Skyzed is not exactly in the best position possible. Topside, Siska is actually losing out his lane, so they instead decide to put resources to make sure that Skyzed is able to get the farm. Doesn't hit anybody. Oh, I really hope he didn't miss out that one minion. Pretty sure he was in range for it. But back on top side, you see that Siska, he's losing the lane pretty hard. He's still able to at least maintain his farm. With a kill under his belt, it's going to put him in a better position, but he's heavily relying on everybody else, especially Stall, to kind of do the heavy lifting.
As long as he doesn't die, that's good enough for Siska. Just wants to stay in lane.
Gotta live. Here comes Steven. Touch off the lane. Get the energy eruption. Diversion gonna be used to provide backup. Bringing the rest of Aero Esports. Stove will scout them out. Appraiser's Wrath does some good damage. Keep Heeman alive.
Bottom lane though, there's a gang go.
Rasi.
He's
looking into it. Shortcut comes out, but he's able to summon Force away. Uses the Purify. The rest of DX come through, but they're not able to make anything happen.
If Kusei went down, that would have been a tier 1 for sure.
Absolutely, but now because of this... Oh wait, they took a long way back. The TP ends up getting shot down. Oh man, that means Reza is able to get a pretty decent amount of gold plating off that top side. That's a little unfortunate.
Oh, hold on, they found CK, but he is able to dash away. For now, what Aero Esports wants to do is just slow down these fights. Having an Exborg around and a Matilda means that they just have generally more sustainability even when they're up against a Fredrin. So as long as they control the engagement better, it should be in a better spot.
Yeah, player have to seize out for Siska too. The next shortcut, Siska is going to be able to do a lot more damage for sure.
Gonna go for the rush. No surprises here.
Turtle down to 40%. Guiding wins into circling. Eagle gets pulled back. But the XO taking this blow, playing it safe, grouping together. Hazel secures the turtle, starts burning away at Rasti. He has to figure out. Siska comes in with the thunderclap on CK, forces him back. Rasti very, very low from the last insanity, gets burned down, but Hazel is way too far forward. Kimin finishes him off, gets pulled back as well. It is a 1-for-1 trade, but much more worth it for DX.
Very, very worth it here. Stow up. Oh my goodness. He had a lot of... Okay, so most of the time, Jushin doesn't build enough stacks on multiple people to lift multiple people at once. This time around, he actually had a choice on who to max stack, whether it was going to be Reza or Hazel. And in this case, he actually waited to save extra mana to guarantee that he could pick up Hazel to ensure this kill for DX Soul. So nicely done from Storm's side. However, these fights, the way that they need to be managed, yeah, you gotta have some expectations. Number one, the damage. Where is it gonna be coming from? It's from prolonged, extended fights. You already got Storm to use both his sprint and as well as his ult. Aero Esports, they don't necessarily need the turtle in the first place.
Summon Force comes out, Kosei engaging on Skyzed, but he flickers away. Shortcut also forces Aero on defense position. The XO will just take it back. They're just completely zoning out the gold lane.
Yeah, they made lane prior to the wave was up very early on. Diversion
coming
What
in.
are you doing? Your rest on.
They're bringing the rest in. Hazel
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
Rasti gonna glow up.
Nice,
Not
nice.
a lot of time, but he is 1v5 in the first side. Skyzed comes in, but his ultimate doesn't do enough damage yet. Aero Esports walks out with all 5 alive.
If he hit one more person with that ability, he would have gotten enough stacks, at least on one of them, to kill. Like Kusei was in the red zone, but hey, Siska gets top tier 1, and now this Masha is unlocked from the lane.
Alright, he's unlocked from the lane. Luckily, Zeke's shield is able to kind of
Dia minum kopi. Emang boleh dia minum kopi? Enggak lah. Astaga.
Malefic gun first, I
Jordan,
believe.
Jordan.
It looks like he's moving up to a second to have the C's. We'll see in just a little bit what he ends up completing. Glowing on, finally finally finished up here. Now Storm start burning away some shields.
Rassi goes in, gonna drop the shortcut on top of Hazel. Already locked his
So,
armor.
nice.
Still steals the turtle away, but the XO in a better position. Storm buying time, picks him up in the back line, gonna run away. Meanwhile, Reza also delaying the rest of the X. Still, no casualties. Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon. Diversion catches Storm.
I think you back off right now if you're a DxO. They're gonna come back mid. Rasi just spotted them. Siska.
Reza taking a lot of damage from
Clap him,
Skyset.
clap him.
Siska not able to get the thunderclap. Reza
Nice.
will fall, but Kimin
Nice.
is gonna lose his life in exchange. Oh, and then the stun on Kosei to get over the wall. The flicker forward, but
Oh.
Kim misses the duality. Rassi is able to escape.
Dang, that could have reached over the wall. I thought he only had the target in front of him and not Zeke.
That was a fancy footwork from Skyzad. Aero Esports finally gets mid-tier 1. And Storm just now, he bit ambitious to try to go for Hazel without the Sky Piercer. Keep Hazel away from the team, but also his team was separated from one another. DxO, I feel like that fight could have been handled a bit better, but hey, Skyzad still got out.
Yeah, he still got out. Oh man, so many questions that need to be answered here. Because again, it's really difficult. Zeke can't protect everybody. He needs to kind of maybe see what's it, one person, one or the other, either Hazel or Reza. Everybody else is kind of a plus and minus whether or not he has the guiding wins. DxO stole him. He's been kind of running at the tanks, right? Whether it be Reza or Hazel, top side sprint jumps right on top of him.
Thunderclap gonna be used. Rassi looked for a chance to engage, but literally everyone from Aero Esports is in the bot lane right now, so they're definitely not gonna be able to find that. For now, the goal difference is still only 1k in favor of Aero Esports, so it is still anyone's game.
Yes, Sky Piercer next for Storm. If you want to go more defensive, there's the Winter Crown's an option. I feel like Sky Piercer will probably be the choice. So far, we've only seen like one impactful diversion from Kim.
Yeah.
They take this bot tier 1, they could do more.
In terms of items, notice that the anti-heal is built by Skyzed as well as Storm. Everybody else, and especially for the tanks, they're probably going to need some real tank items. We're seeing Radiant Armor already purchased by Keyman. I'm only going to assume that they're going to stack up with everything else. Wait, hold on.
Hazel's losing a lot of his armor.
Yeah, like I mean, Skyzed is hitting it from 10 miles away.
And all the while, Siska is actually split pushing top lane. Aero Esports being out macroed a little bit, and the diversion didn't really do anything either.
Just reset the Lord. Reset the Lord. Let
Siska.
Let Aero make the choice.
Die for this T2, Siska. Siska, come on.
The devil on Siska's shoulder.
Yeah, he's just whispering to him. It's like, you're gonna get it.
Nah, he timed it perfectly.
Nice. And he still gets to set up the push.
Yup. This is a tough one for Aero Esports to get their hands out of. Wow, even going for the Sky Piercer. God, he knows that his marksman is going to start chunking people out.
It's truly one way to do it with Hazel. Reza cannot walk out like that.
Skyzed's gonna chunk him out a little bit. He's still fine though. Lord now at 50% HP.
Bisa terbang ya.
Looking for a chance. Pops the conceal.
Ambil.
Gonna
Ambil.
eventually go in. Drops the shortcut right in the back line.
Ambil,
Here
Jordan.
comes this now with the thunderclap. Pops the
Oh
shortcut
no.
for Kimin. Secures the Lord. And now Aero Esports have to walk away with their tail between their legs.
Holy cow. If not for the guiding win, at least 2% would have died from that.
Alright, saved by the help. Lord is still on the side of DxO. It's a very small
What hard
building,
game,
but right
bro.
now their composition, especially as 5, is a little tough to get through for Aero Esports. It's just not, they're not pumping up close enough for Keeman to get max value out of his duality. And I think right now, against DxO, they need to find these choke points to fight around because they're a team that peels backwards or pushes forwards. They can't really stand and hold
Tadi
their
kena
ground,
bot,
which
Mas.
Kim is realizing very
Apanya?
quickly that he shouldn't be holding on like an
channelnya.
anchor. He needs to peel back with Zeke as well.
And even Hazel getting the jitters, right? His retribution came out so
Oh,
early.
the bot.
First Lord push, top lane.
Nih.
This top inhibitor going to be targeted. Lifted on
Wih, tadi
Hazel.
full viewernya loh.
Tapi bot kayaknya nggak ada komentar.
Bisa jadi orang kan? Lihat daripada tiup sudah.
Remember before the
Enggak, bot nggak mungkin film mas.
the odds
Ngapain?
that DXS would win 3-2? I think it's looking pretty probable right now.
Tapi dia langsung ngedrop langsung. Habis.
Aero Esports needs to lock
Ya
this in.
ampun.
They almost caught Kimi. Hazel, you're going really far here. He got diversion in. Diversion gonna be sent in the back line.
Dia lagi makan ini, dimakan permen kayaknya.
No.
Hazel gonna be picked off. It's a double kill for Skyzed. This guy also gonna be losing his life.
Nice.
Dolan. Aduh, rebel banget.
It was Stolen knew that it was coming.
That was so unreal.
The one time Kim made the call for an off-tempo play, the chip portal saves the EXO.
They're committing once again. The shortcut comes out. Keeman gonna go through by himself. Will be able to dash over the wall. They're not committing to this one just yet, guys. Hey, in trouble!
Nice.
Shut down by Kosei! But he does find a killer free to pick up. They find a return shutdown. But they will also lose Rasi.
All right, no inhibitors go down. Best case scenario for Aero. That was the fleeting time on Rasi. He picked that up fresh out the oven. That's why you get 2 portals. So Aero Esport gets saved by Kusei's hero play at the cost of his life. And that's why they get another shot. Second Lord, 25 seconds in the bottom side of the map. DxO didn't get any inhibitors. So Aero gets to play this slow and steady. They got one more shot.
Dude, Storm, he's probably thanking his lucky stars like, oh, thank God I purchased the Sky Piercer. I needed to kill Kusei from not just taking away our gold later and walking away with it. No way in hell he was going to let that through. Oh, 1.7k gold lead for DxSoul at this point of time. Aero Esports, I think after seeing what had happened, they're going to be a little bit more hesitant. I think they're expecting Rasi to make that initial play first, which begs the question, where does Kim need to stand? He is the main anchor for the side of Aero Esports and the least mobile amongst the members of his team comp.
Rasi just spotted them too. Kusei
Cut comes out on Kusei. Here comes the rest of DxO. Thunderclap chases him into the diamonds for ZK. Flickers over the pit. He's going to be able to get away as Reza provides zoning. Aero Esports again able to disengage with no casualties.
Diversion play.
Oh, they're going for it. They're trying to cut them off. Came and Kose going to be sending them back. Last insanity comes out.
Nice. Nice.
Wow. The EXO trying to chase them down. King gonna be melted away. Keeman still alive. Silence Force comes out. Finishes Reza. The Thunderclap. This guy's able to get away. It's a triple kill. Now they're chasing the rest. He got the hell back.
Ini juga. Oh, fuck.
Oh, wipe out from DxO. History has
Kim, come on, Kim.
made. DxO in their first
Oh, dibukain. Jangan, nggak boleh. Nggak boleh buat anak.
Kalah lagi.
Astaga.
Boleh nggak, Kak?
Boleh.
Oh, boleh. Oh, boleh.
Enggak coklat aja.
Oh, ini padahal ada coklatnya. Dia nggak tahu ini coklatnya.
Ada coklatnya.
Aku nggak berani bukain. Belum izin orang tua. Ini boleh. Tak bawa sini. Mana bawa? Jangan bawa.
Minum kopi tadi dia.
Anjir.
Ayo sini. Ayo sayang.
Lagi pengen jadi YouTuber katanya.
Ada coklat di sini. Ada coklat.
This close only to fall at the finishing line.
Siapa yang kalah?
Unreal.
Itu yang Aero Esport.
Unreal best of 5. Well done to both teams. Jeez, man, Keeman, 4-man taunt. 4-man taunt to set that up for the whole team, despite being flanked and sandwiched.
Can't believe it. A reverse sweep. The Dark Horses truly living up to their title. They are repeating the miracle run.
Had Kusei not been caught by that very last taunt at the end, I think he clears everybody there.
Yeah, they fought DXS when Skyzer wasn't around, but they forgot that Siska was the one true threat.
Udah. Ini Mas pakai ini, let's view. Jadi tinggal di mirror.
Langsung ya.
Iya. Ini udah, terus screen share di sini. Screen share.
Berarti live juga bisa akhirnya.
Kenapa? Screen share. Tinggal. Nah, ini dia modelnya. Jadi bisa main tanpa pakai wire lagi.
Iya ya. Tapi di situ
Mana? Sini.
situnya belum mulai.
Iya kan dia delay dari.
Oh iya tuh langsung mulai.
Ini aku nggak pakai volume soalnya biar nggak kecampur sama. Dari
Udah langsung kayak kamera udah
ada ya. Mau main ML, mau main Dota bisa. Kalau Dota tinggal tambahin ini.
Yang Streamlab ya?
Game capture, iya. Itu tinggal tambahin game capture. Terus habis itu kita lupa Dotanya. Nanti dia bakalan game capture. If apa nih?
Aduh. Bakalan ada ini lagi gangguan internet. Jangan main dulu.
Nih.
Wih langsung ya.
Iya. Mau gonta ganti tinggal transisi.
Ya berarti kalau misalkan main PC segala macam, game-game Android juga bisa kita.
Iya. Bisa kita casting.